Yeah. Yeah,
Unless it does
so
what it did last time, we end up with an actual genie.
even then, 5 of you, one of them.
Overkill.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get started. Sorry for the late start here. I've had a bad week because my tooth has been hurting, so it's been a
That's rough.
I've been suffering. It sucks when it's like it makes sleeping hard, and then like anything you do is basically hard, like eating, drinking, everything hurts. But
Sure, man. I'm sorry.
but anyways, here we are. KJ, you luckily didn't last time miss out on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
These people succeeded in doing extremely little in in the 1 hour.
You're welcome.
Who wants
I have
to...
a strong feeling it will last for the next 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Who wants
Do
to
you want to take a
recap?
stab at who is largely responsible for the pagers stalling in time?
I feel like that was a collaborative effort.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the main things were trying to figure out where the ambassador was. That didn't work. We figured out which way she was going to be leaving the city. So a couple of mostly Mervyn tried to wait at the gate there. That didn't work because the guards were like, "Don't stay around here."
In the middle of the night.
Yeah. And so then, because basically the whole idea was to try and formulate a plan to kidnap the ambassador, to bring her to the meeting, to basically expose whatever the hell was going on with her. Because we managed to scry on her, and she was talking about how she would be happy that they'd be leaving this cursed land and all that stuff, so we figured she must have been in on the whole thing. We eventually end up leaving the city like just before dawn because we knew she was going to be leaving at some point that morning or just after dawn. And then as the guards literally just like shot an arrow to say, "Hey, keep going," we ended up like an hour outside the city, waiting for them to show up, and then got some information using some magic to say that, yeah, we don't think that she actually knows anything about what we were suspecting, and so let her go.
We chickened out, in other words.
We also had a bar fight. I'm not sure if you were there for that.
Yeah, I was there for that part.
But yeah, it was very, very, very close. You took it to the very end, and then decided that we're gonna back out. But yeah, most of the time was spent following the hijinks of Mervyn, who did some suspicious stuff as usual.
We did a lot and
So are we
accomplished
back?
nothing.
Are we back to like the original plan where Fred is just gonna go in and suggest to like what is this Nuguk something to like provide a champion to fight? Are we back to that idea?
Yeah. I think that's our current best plan.
I tell you, the best idea is just turn up at a meeting and then improvise. Like I've always mentioned, plans never go according to how we want it.
Yeah, I mean,
These are plans.
right now, your roadblock to getting to that meeting is the fact that you decided to go along the lines of lying to people as usual. So creating a bit of a problem where basically the guards at the nearest gate were told by you that you're leaving. You're heading off to Kantok, and you were waiting to join the ambassador, and on the way. So now you need to somehow make your way back to the city without raising too many questions, I suppose. Also, there's Mervyn actually did like some stuff where it would be very bad if people like found out. Well, not very bad. Let's keep things relative to what you've done before, but it would be very questionable if they found out Mervyn's disguises and everything.
Yeah,
If they put
disguise.
2 and 2 together, and the 2 separate guys who were asking to loiter around at the front gate were actually the same person.
3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Why
But
don't
yeah,
we just go ahead and say
you're-
somebody was impersonating Mervyn, even though it's really Mervyn all this time? And then just say, do they have true sight? If they don't have it, it's your words against my words. With Fritz persuasion, I'm sure it works.
That works until they put us into a zone of truth. Also, just a rules question, Deep. Is there anything stopping me from summoning an elemental, losing concentration on it, summoning another elemental, and losing concentration on it, to have a bunch of elementals that I don't control, but still occupied at the same time?
Well, doesn't it take a lot of time to cast a spell?
1
Yeah,
minute.
that's the part.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think so. But I mean, yeah, you would have to be able to. You would need another minute of uninterrupted casting time while there's an elemental that is hostile against you. So
where is this elemental cascade? Why are you asking?
Asking for a friend.
I get it. If one level 5 elemental isn't a challenge for us to fight,
Pretty much.
how about 12 of them?
Alternatively, if we need a way back into the town and there's guards in our way, they can be distracted. If there's an elemental trying to attack the city, that's kind of important for the guards to stop.
I don't know.
Why?
I feel like using a ruse to like cover a dishonest act. It's like dishonesty on top of dishonesty. Doesn't really.
yeah,
help.
you just keep piling these things on, and then eventually that tower of lies just crashes down, and
That's right.
I told you the best thing was to just live out this day peacefully and just let it be. I had the best solution.
Yeah, I know that normally we can't travel across the dunes, but if we're literally just trying to get, the short distance from one road to the eastern road to the southern road, would it be that big of a deal to just cut across the dunes and get to the southern road so we can enter on the southern border of the city?
Probably not, but I would not be too surprised if the city had some sort of, some rudimentary border control stuff. So if one guard tower sees that there's some suspicious people trying to, evade them and go around, they would probably notify another tower that, hey, something's up.
Okay.
So where's the party right now? Is everybody outside, including me, who have been shopping,
yeah.
window shopping tonight?
Yeah, you're like I don't know, like a mile away from the city, east of it.
I don't think it's that big a deal. I think we just go back and say, whoops, we forgot something. We'll leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why do they care?
Yeah.
I mean, we're weird, but I don't think we're like openly hostile or anything.
Unless you summon some fire elementals.
Yeah, well,
If
okay.
they
If we do
This is
that,
something This is something we should always be thinking about. If they want to search our stuff, is there anything on us that is bad or
Why are you
suspicious?
thinking so far ahead to like them searching us?
Well, I don't think it's that. Searching our stuff is not like hostile. That seems like a pretty normal.
I mean
they thought
that probably did. That probably didn't cross Duke's mind until you mentioned it. So like now it's a real possibility.
Okay,
I don't think we're carrying any contraband or anything like that, are we? I mean, you guys tell me. I don't think there's anything that the orcs.
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything crazy or incriminating.
We stopped
on
carrying
us.
a dead body, so I think we're good on that front.
That one's good.
No items of extreme evil power.
That you know of.
That we know of. No currently potentially world-ending items that we know of. We have a portal to a faraway continent, or not faraway country.
That they know of.
That they do know of.
Anyway, I really think that the plan here is we just approach openly. We're not hiding anything. We just say we forgot, or we after speaking with the ambassador, since we caught up with her on the road, we realized there's some more business that we have to take care of with the council, and
we thought that the council had already given us permission to go with them, but the council has not. That was a mix-up on our part. We thought we were allowed to go with them. There, we're just stupid. That's literally the justification we need. We're idiots.
We spent all evening corroborating that story, so I think we're golden. All right, well, I think that's the plan, unless anybody has a better one.
No, I think that's good.
Probably best to keep it simple.
So we return to town openly. We're not trying to hide anything at all, just traveling at a normal pace, approaching the gates.
Mm-hmm. The guards let you through with your stupidity explanation without any too many further questions. They do seem to ridicule you for kind of turning tail and coming back after so defiantly leaving them, but otherwise they let you through. I assume you head to the Hall of the Tribes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, at the hall, the elders are in session, I suppose. And, yeah, waiting for you. They are all, again, like, just sitting there silently, and there's a drum going.
I look to the group. Thumbs up. Good enough. Cool.
You got this, buddy.
Then I say aloud.
And just to review, you remember which one you're gonna suggest to?
I thought we were improvising this.
Fine.
I like to improvise here.
We might not even need to, technically.
All right, fine.
Yeah,
fine. Just whichever one's giving us the most resistance.
Yeah. I say to the room, I request permission to speak, and then I go silent.
Gazonk of Just says you may approach.
Then I do so and take a seat where I had previously.
They all sit silently.
Okay. The correct wording of this. Have you come to a decision, or would you like us to further argue our case.
Gazong says, "You wished to speak. Now speak."
We are a mighty band who have always done what we believe to be in the interest of the greater good, not necessarily the individual good or individually the perfect moral example on every occasion, but our objective has always been the betterment of the world at large. We will happily take any test you could come up with to prove our might or worth here today, but we do wish to help ensure that the world is saved.
Do you want to add a persuasion check to that?
I wouldn't not like that. Come on.
I was in 30 feet of him. Are we all sitting together?
Are you sitting? Are you sitting down with Fred?
I don't know what the protocol was supposed to be. I wasn't there the first time we.
That's what I'm asking. Are you sitting down with Fred?
Oh, if none of the others made a move to walk with Fred, then I would not.
No, Reynard in particular is being very docile, very polite, unlike last time, and standing back respectfully.
Okay. So if I'm within 30 feet of him, I can use Flash of Genius.
Not bad, a 34. Like to see anyone
Wait,
here
I can
otherwise
see
get that good?
I can see the room. Yeah, I'm like barely within 30 feet of him. Yeah, okay. Would you like a Flash of Genius on there?
At this point, why wouldn't we?
Yeah, let's do that. Flash of Genius.
Let's get to the level of the gods.
Yeah, 39. Woohoo.
I'm sorry.
You don't want to
get
use
40?
You don't want to use a lucky die?
That would only re-roll it, and that can only get me one higher. So
1 is 1.
1 is 1, but I'm satisfied.
All right. Okay. The orcs you look around and you don't immediately see anything obvious in terms of reactions.
Okay, if this is thinking aloud, we need to be respectful of their traditions, we need to show our power, and we need to be unexpected. Some of those contradict each other, and
And we need to prove good intentions.
yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm. So summon a fire elemental in the middle of the tent would be unexpected.
It
and
would
powerful.
technically prove our strength to a degree.
That's right.
Could you
But
use
it would
subtle
not-
spell on it and then go? Oh my god! Everyone, stay back!
I unfortunately cannot. I only have 4 points, so I can only do a 4th level. I could subtle spell polymorph.
I feel like you just issue a challenge to Nuguk and see what happens.
Yeah, that was
I kind of like the idea of polymorphing one of them into an animal and fighting them. But
you could subtle spell detect thoughts to see like we weren't able to read them.
that is a intelligent idea. I also have to be careful of old Yorf because he's a spellcaster, we've been told. So I don't want to. If he's hypothetically, or like someone else in the room that I'm not aware of, is using Detect Fork's subtle
Yeah,
spell
already has it up. Yeah.
on me, and it's like, oh. So
Gazonk says, "Have you spoken?"
Oh, he's asking if you're done. I think.
my words have spoken, but my actions are yet to be proven.
And maybe when
all the
when
orcs
spoken
say,
word fails you,
what does that even mean?
put it in song.
Gazonk says, if you have spoken, then leave us to decide.
I stand up, I turn, and I walk away.
All right. The orcs are again just sitting there with their eyes closed and the drumming going on.
Are they asking us to leave the hall or just wait at the entrance area?
I'm gonna cast a
You'd-
message.
You'd get the you'd get the impression that they just sent like Frid out of the circle rather than.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't need to use message on Gorbash to ask that. Hey, are we supposed to leave?
You could use
Well,
message on the elder that came and talked to us and be like, was that good or should we like come back and say more?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a bit much, I think.
Okay.
Well,
So-
I'm reassuring. You persuaded me, buddy. That was a good speech. It was a good speech.
It seems
We're just supposed to stay
they.
silent here.
It seems that they might be the type to decide on their own in silence instead of speaking with each other. If they're just sitting here with the drums going on.
Or
Well,
maybe
I'm
they have
so
a
sure they're just
telepathic,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
telepathic bond. And they were secretly just like dissing me the entire time as a group. Like, what is this idiot saying?
As you're standing around, at one point, Gazonk throws some powder into the fire, and it whooshes up in a green flame for a moment, and then returns to normal.
Green is good.
Unless it means poison.
It's the universal evil color for Disney villains, though.
Oh.
Orcs are
It's
green.
also the same. It's also the
Gee,
same
everything.
color for what is it? The pot key with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's a teleporting.
Oh no,
circle
or
in
you mean
disguise.
do you mean flug powder? The
Right.
yeah, the stuff they throw into the fire. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
The teleport stuff. Yeah.
the orcs are green. I can't see them seeing green as a bad color.
That's right. I'm an eternal optimist.
The orcs are also follow evil gods, so you know, green
Up is
being
down,
good
down
for
is up.
them might be bad.
Hey, let's not generalize. You don't know which gods these orcs follow.
True.
I mean, they do want us to prove good intentions.
Yeah.
We didn't have to come in here and prove we're chaotic, because that would have been easy.
I think we would have proved that the first time.
I do wonder what do we do if it's no, but
Yeah, is there anything you want to do right now other than just stand there at the entrance awkwardly?
Talk. I feel like we probably can't really say much without being obviously overheard, right? We're only like a stone's throw away from everybody.
Like logically, I
can...
want to cast telepathic bond, but like the last time I casting any spell didn't go too well, so I'm just gonna stay here and pout.
Yeah, you can speak, like whisper around, and there's no guarantee nobody is like listening in on you, but yeah, you can probably talk.
Okay.
Like don't say that. Hey, we did
Should murder them
crimes.
all.
Yeah, don't
No,
say
I wasn't
things
gonna
like
say
that.
What
But
I wanted to talk about is what to do if they say no, but I don't want to talk about that in front of them.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like another thing that leads to we should murder them.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. So I think just respectfully sitting quietly awaiting their decision is the I don't know if it's the strong or unexpected thing to do, but it seems like the good intentions and keeping with their traditions things to. It always seems like there's conflict between those two sides.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we should. I mean, I'm afraid of going up to them and trying to say more, because I don't know if the green flame is good or bad, but it seems to have marked the end of our speaking time, and we're not supposed to interrupt them now.
I thought it was from the moment I said.
Oh yeah, that
said,
would.
Yeah.
Yeah, or from there. Yeah, we're done, and it would be disrespectful to like go back up and say more.
I would assume there were guards at the door again this time, right?
Yep.
Go ask them. Hey, do you know what it means when he throws powder in the fire and turns green?
They say, don't know.
Okay.
It's got to be a good sign, though, right?
Don't know.
All right.
They don't get
You
to
guys
sit in on it
particularly
very much, I
strong, by the way.
We are about CR 19.
How impressive would it be if somebody kicked your ass? Just asking hypothetically.
You're quite impressive. Yeah, you do look it. Yeah. Do you work out? You must work out, right?
But yeah, just to kind of remind you of what Shazgob told you was that by convincing old Iroh, you would then convince everyone else except for Nugug, and you also confirmed that they all would have to agree.
I just thought of a interesting way to prove that we have good intentions. It's probably too late now, though. We give all our money away.
Whoa.
But then we
I don't
can't
think that's
bribe
necessary.
Yeah, I prefer the polymorph Nugug into a chicken plan, but
Okay.
no, I don't know. I think at this point we're just waiting to see what they say, right? I mean, I don't think we're actively looking to intervene. If they say no, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, what I'm saying is that you basically know that they will say no because you haven't done anything that would change Nugug's mind. So at this point, you are just waiting for a no answer by default.
Okay. So should we request they supply a champion? because it was the. I'm sorry. I'll go get my.
Do we want
Let's
to
just
wait?
issue
for
a
them to actually
champion
say
to
no?
Nuguk.
Do we want to wait for
was
them to actually say no?
Nugug wanted a show of force,
Yes.
and Aldera wanted good intentions. So, I mean, it's a lot, and it would be big for us, but we could give away all of our money.
I think we
And
should just
then-
issue a challenge to Nuguk.
Again, do we want to wait for him to say no? Because at this point, we're quote unquote done speaking.
Interesting idea.
Is that bad? Like, if I don't know.
Can they like appeal their own answer?
Right. That's the idea. I wish we had an orc lawyer on hand.
Yeah, I know. Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know what's like better and least defensive, to interrupt them now or
What's
make them hear us out
what's
again
so
after they've
bad?
decided.
What's so bad with them rejecting us? We could just go off our own violation to stop like the King's Party anyway, and then nobody gets in. Isn't that a better result than actually having them go in? And then we can use that as the proof of might if they just say no.
Well, you're right. I think what you're highlighting is that we have kind of bought into their superstition about whatever the power of their, what I can't remember the numbered tribe, but the hidden tribe or whatever it is that controls access to the tower. I think we're bought into their superstition around that at this point.
Yeah.
And maybe it's nothing. Maybe we could just walk right through them and they try to stop us and we just bulldoze our way through. I don't know.
Or
But I think
maybe
we believe it.
they've all
If
been.
they, yeah, go for it.
Maybe the Lost Tribe has already been defeated, like by the Empire, like we sort of think, and we have to only fight the Empire. Hard to tell.
I mean, they
That's a
did
good
only send
picture.
like some stupid ambassador to like make their case with the Orc tribe, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't.
Plus 5.
Nobody who's actually accessing the tower came.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So-
Where are you going with that?
Just that we were under the assumption that at least I was, that the Empire even bothering to gather the elders and ask permission seemed to indicate that they thought that the Lost Tribe was a big enough deal to bother doing that, but
Maybe.
we
that
think
might have
that they
just-
set up early and they sent just some ambassador to make their case. No one who's actually accessing the tower went to get permission. So maybe it isn't a big deal.
Right.
As you're
No, that's
deliberating things, in this tent that you are in, this large, basically a tent, a permanently set up tent structure here, it's pretty dark in here, apart from the lights that are there. But you are right next to the entrance, out of which some sunlight is coming in, and you notice that sunlight suddenly changes a little bit, and you hear a slight commotion outside.
Did a show of force just fall into our lap?
Let's take a look.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you can peek outside, and you notice that the sky has turned a very ominous red.
Oh,
in the sky.
Yes, and people are just generally being like, what's going on?
that's not good.
Fred,
No,
is
it's
there a
not
way
good.
The Shazgob right now. I feel like
There's
at
a
least
there,
we should try to check in with Shazgob to see, like, if she's convinced that we're going to get a no answer, we should probably say something.
there's been a forest fire.
So-
Wildfires in the desert.
Can it be seen from? Would we expect that it could be seen from where they're sitting?
Not really. Like, they'd have to go outside to really see it properly.
but we can clearly see that the sky is red from outside.
Yeah.
And this is a tent made out of canvas or similar type material.
Oh my God, are you gonna
Leathers,
burn up the tent?
cloths.
One sec, I need to look for a spell.
Do not desecrate their temple.
Yeah,
Do
I
not
agree.
desecrate their temple. Do not.
But I do think it's not unreasonable to call for their attention to be directed to the changing circumstances.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I think Frid should do that. I want to tent it, but I'm gonna not speak to them.
Okay, here's a question. Animate objects. Could I use that to target some of the leather that's... I'm assuming it's not one massive individual sheet of leather around it. It'll be like lots of little joining parts. Could I use that to kind of pull apart parts of the thing to show the red sky shining through?
No.
No.
It's one big sheet of leather
What?
from the Eldritch
Why
cow.
don't we just try using our mouth and getting their
Because this is
attention?
dramatic, and it's a show of power to a
think
bit of a degree by saying, "Look, we'll destroy this building if we have to. We're going." That's my rationalized thoughts
I think,
about it.
Fred, have you
fine.
not met yourself? Literally anything that comes out of your mouth is dramatic. So just go in and use your mouth.
I say go
You
for
know
it.
what? Let's put
Just
on a...
go in and tell them the sky is falling.
I'm going to
Number
ask you guys to hold open the doors so that it's like visible if you look in that direction. And then I am going to...
It would not be from their point of view. They would not see much. They would
Oh.
just see that the sun is... It looks basically like it would be overcast.
Okay. I'm going to say the following. Elders, I know I have given up my chance to speak, but you must look outside.
Gazonk interrupts you and says, "You do not have permission to speak. Leave us to deliberate."
You do not have the information you need. Look outside. The sky is red.
You notice Bula of Port Lone opens her eyes and looks towards you. The others don't. Gazonk says, "That is immaterial. Leave us to our deliberation." And Bula also turns back and closes her eyes.
See, I know I don't have the physical strength to move them, but I feel like that'd be a show of strength.
Just to pick them up.
One of the guards outside near you, who overhears this, just says, "What are you doing? Just leave them. They are speaking."
Yeah, but they're gonna say no.
They need
We're
to
trying to-
see this. If the world is ending, that the imminent destruction of the world seems like it ought to change things at the very least.
The sky
orc
is bleeding.
says,
He's bleeding.
the orc says, "What do you mean the world is ending?"
Do you not see this?
Yes. How do you know what it means?
Call me a
That's about
doomsayer.
2 years worth of content that we can't get through in a quick chat. But trust me, the world is ending. And that is what we're deliberating with the elders. They need
Oh.
to see this.
Wait, the
feel like you
one
should
that we
just
need
talk
to convince is
directly
the
with.
wizard, right? Could we not, like, I feel like the path of convincing the one that we were one of the ones we were supposed to convince is that he's a wizard and he has a connection to the arcane weave, and he'll understand that it is really truly deteriorating, and how quickly it's getting worse, and we need to act now.
This is new information to me. So you're saying Oldera is a
There's
wizard?
the Oldero, the
Oldiro.
one, oh yeah, the Oldiro, the one who, like, the others will fall in line behind. He is a wizard.
So let's vortex.
So you guys learned that he's a wizard that is connected to the arcane weave.
Well, he is a
Yes.
Well,
wizard.
I was
I
out in
assumed
that
he
hour.
is. He.
This is new info to me. Some asked. I'm just trying to fact check here.
I wrote it down, so I'm assuming it is correct.
That was from Shazgog when Shazgog came to speak to us in our in-room.
Yeah.
I feel like you just ask Shazgog what would he advise? Should we just forcefully take one of them outside, and then if that's a proof of mind, and would that change? Or is what Garzong saying, like, this thing is really not gonna affect their decision? Just because the sky turn rate is not gonna affect the decision, then yeah, it doesn't affect the decision.
We
even
should
if you
go
take them out.
in. We should go in, ask to speak again, and then that's like a new, like, persuasion tactic, is to, go in on the angle of the arcane weave is, like, this is a problem that needs.
Strength. That's.
It's not. I mean,
The thing is, they
that's
already
not-
know the
that's-
arcane wave is weakening. So what's the difference? That argument just doesn't stand. If you're trying to say that the sky turn rate is the new argument, then if they say that it's immaterial to their decision, that obviously doesn't matter even if you bring them out.
Yeah, but
I'm going from a logical standpoint. This is just
I know
logical
you are.
to me.
I know exactly. I understand.
Yeah, but it's if it's a sign, you know what I mean? That I think that's kind of what we're, we're not like the most sophisticated people in the world. You look at something like that and say, this is a sign. The world is ending. We have to act.
Maybe ask Oldiro to reach out into the arcane weave and feel it, and tell us, has it deteriorated just now?
Can we tell if it's detected, if it's gotten weaker or not? The arcane weave.
Celery can do an Arcana check if you want.
Celery.
Richard Mervin's Arcana is better than mine, but sure.
You're the one who's shown propensity to this before, so Celery doesn't notice any noticeable difference. It's as bad as it has been.
Do we have any theories about why the sky's red?
Can I just do an insight check on what they say? Like, it's immaterial to the decision. Really mean, like, it literally is not going to affect their decision even if they see that the sky is red. I just want to insight that.
Sure.
Can I do that? Okay, I know shit. Ugh.
You think you think they just want to make their decision. They don't really care about, like, you get the sense that they have, like, they are now just talking. They've already heard all the stuff, so now they just talk and make a decision.
Okay, so
All right.
the only real good show of force I think we have is asking them to supply a champion, and then for convincing them of our good intentions, it was my idea, but I like it that we give away all of our money to, I don't know, just like throw it out into the street or something like that. I don't know, like, just.
But I think money was something that was, like, not part of their concern anyway. So why would they change now?
No, yeah, but it's not part of their concern. But I don't have anything else in my brain right now
tradition.
that we can do. No, but what can we do right now?
I've got
That
something.
will-
By Orc tradition,
is-
you need to offer some part of your body. By Orc tradition, so you could offer like your sight, your sense of hearing, your
interesting,
tongue,
okay.
and
David,
yeah.
what was
Alright.
your?
But I don't think
Yeah,
money is something
so-
to be a concern.
I have a solution that ticks 3 of the 4 boxes that we've asked to do, which is we go
Okay.
grab old Iroh and we haul him out into the street to look at the sky. So that would be a show of strength. It would be unexpected, and I guess it's not very respectful, but it is good
Yeah.
intentions because we're trying to highlight, the world is ending. This is, circumstances changed. You have to let us through. We're people of strength. We're, essentially we're making that kind of argument that like we have to be there. You need as much strength to stop this as you can. It's imminent. It's no longer time to fuck around. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's not respecting their traditions, but it takes everything else.
Yeah, would it fall under attacking an elder? Because we were specifically told not to do that.
It would most certainly fall under that. And also, if you recall, as I reminded you, you were told that if old Iroh agrees, everybody else agrees. So, conversely, if you manhandle old Iroh, how do you think the council will think after that?
So we could do it to Garzonk. As he wants the show.
I didn't say that, but
It's Nugunk that wants the show of force.
Was it? Oh, Nugonk. My apologies.
Yeah.
Who's that wanted the show first?
I'm going to subtle cell detect thoughts. We need more information.
All right.
Unbeknownst to you, they all have mind blank.
Well, that
How
was
close do you have to be to them? You have to walk a little closer to them, I think, to nab all of them.
Yeah, you can only get a couple from.
Just gonna mosey on over there, pace the room a little bit.
But by the way, David, my mind was literally there the moment like they said you want to get them out. I was like, should I just vortex walk them out? I was there already.
I said that. Yeah. Just
I was
vortex
there
them out
already.
into the
I was like,
street.
I decided against it.
Whilst
I don't
looking
know
at the
if-
party and like talking to them, I'm gonna like casually, whilst in conversation to the party, like step back slowly, like not as if I'm not even like noticing I'm stepping backwards towards the elders, and just hopefully someone in the party like moves like ever so slightly, like just how we're talking, mulling
Sure.
about,
I'll play
and
along.
yeah, but not making any like clear, deliberate strides to the elders, and that's about as far as I dare.
You notice somebody else also is making non-deliberate moves in the same direction. Who are
Sounds like
you
Corbin.
detecting?
First, old Iroh.
Old Arrow's surface thoughts are Old Arrow is currently thinking about whether you are trustworthy or not.
I'm detecting his mind, so that should answer. Am I close enough to quickly do? More or less, yeah. Let's go to Bula.
Bula is thinking the same.
And then to Ugg.
Urug is thinking the same.
Interesting. Do I have the
Shazgob.
range for Shazgob?
Shazgob is thinking the same.
They're thinking the same even after we mentioned something about the red sun. You have no thought about the red sky.
Yeah, it's less about knowing the threat is real and more about, are we trusted to deal with it?
So you see,
No,
the surface thought
Prid
appears
is,
once you mention it.
Prid is detecting their surface thoughts currently. It's been, a couple of minutes since you mentioned the sky, so...
Mention it again and see what happens.
Well, that or just try to do like the deeper dive on Old Iroh, but then you.
He immediately knows. He immediately knows, and that's not very trustworthy.
I'm gonna say permission to speak. Even if they didn't know.
I haven't relayed
anything
this
else. Like,
information.
are you
by the
guys?
way.
Yeah.
Oh,
How would
okay.
I? How would I? At this range and whatnot.
Gazonk opens his eyes and looks at Celery and says, your permission has been denied. Leave us to deliberate.
Okay, I'll move back to Old Iroh. Is it the same thoughts?
Yep, same thoughts.
How do we force people to prove we're trustworthy? Because that's essentially what we need to do. Like, we've been under a zone of truth and said our honest intentions. In a world where there's magic and truth projecting magic, I don't know.
Have we listed our accomplishments to them, like showing that we're like competent?
They don't care.
Okay.
You have. I mean, so you know that these people take their thing very seriously, and they have told you several times now that they are deliberating. So that's just kind of their job. They're just doing what they are supposed to do right now. So, yeah.
I still think they'd respect us giving up something important to us.
Why do you think so?
Todd?
I was gonna say.
But why does Mervin think like giving something up will be the exchange that they want?
Well, no, because it's limited to what we can do right now. They know everything about us. They know that we're competent. They know that we want to save the world, and they're still wondering if we're trustworthy. So we have to do something.
So you're thinking money, which is kind of equivalent to bribery, is the route to do it?
Well, no. We're not giving it to them. We're just giving it away. And I think they'll recognize that even if it's not a thing that's important to them, it's a thing that's important to us.
I just think of showing charity.
But let me repeat what I said, that they are deliberating because that's their job.
So should we
just because they are deliberating whether you are trustworthy doesn't mean that you haven't proven that already. Is what I'm saying. They are talking about it because it's their job. That's what they do. They talk about these things. So they need to, like, as in a meeting, they need to present, the arguments and the counter arguments and everything, and then make a decision. So
right, but you also said, Dupe, that unless we did something, their answer is going to be no, because we haven't done.
Yeah, because you have not convinced Nugug. What I'm saying is, you have done a 39 persuasion check. You could probably figure out that Iroh is probably going to be on your side. Probably.
Then I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So
what I said was that you have not done anything to change Nugug's mind. You still haven't. So that's the point.
So then show of force or suggestion.
Yeah.
Which was our plan.
Or murder.
Which was our plan originally, was that a persuasion check on Alda Iroh and then a suggestion on Nugug.
Yeah. But even when you settle suggestion, you still have to speak the suggestion.
They've been pretty patient with us trying to get their attention.
Why don't we go with David's idea, but instead of targeting Daryl, let's just target Nugug.
Meaning
grab him and bring him outside to see.
Or vortex warp him out into the street. I don't really even like my own idea, I gotta be honest.
I don't think
I'll come up with an amazing one.
I don't think you're going to
So people on the street seem to be interested in why the sky is red, but nobody is like panicking. So and also none of the guards are like running in and saying the sky is falling to the leaders. So
yeah, it's not in scary territory, it's in a what is that?
Yeah.
I have a potentially important thing to do.
So I'm sure somebody out there in the world is like, the world is ending, but the general sentiment is probably like, huh, that's weird. There must be a forest fire.
How involved is obviously this guard of the elders didn't know, but the general populace, they know that magic is deteriorating. Do they know that the world is ending with that? Do we have any clue about that?
You haven't asked.
Haven't asked.
I think it's unlikely.
The guards wouldn't know that. You mean do the elders know that?
Well, no, like the general populace. Like, are they thinking, oh, the world is ending because we know it's been slowly deteriorating for a while, or is it just, oh, magic's just not really working? I'm a peasant. I can't really do anything about it. I don't really care. Oh, the sky is red. That's another weird thing. That kind of thing. Or the world is ending as we've been feeling it progress, and we logically know it's going to. But I kind of want to do a sending to our tower to see if it's red over there. But I don't know.
I like to start casting a spell and see if the guards or Gorbash or whoever else that's not an elder is gonna stop me. I'm just gonna do the incantation and mouth it, but not actually cast the spell.
What spell?
A message. And I'm targeting one of the passerby that I could see across the tent.
The guards, including Gorbash and Bulak inside, and then the guards outside immediately react, and they're like, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to detect the case of what's happening outside while waiting for the elder's decision. But if there's no magic casting and I look over to Fred, then I guess that's that. Like I said, I was just gonna do the incantation and mouth the words, but not actually cast the spell. So I have not cast the spell. Yeah. So are they gonna let me cast the spell?
No.
Okay, sure. Even if I wanted to like create havoc,
I mean,
like I can't.
I mean, you can. I mean, they can't stop you unless they have counter spells and such. But like, yeah, they are not. They are like reacting like, "Hey, stop right now, or else."
If you wanted to do sand, then you still have to do it like subtly.
No, I don't think they'll be mad if we.
We could
Cast
step
spell.
outside and do that. I don't think that's.
The
Right,
drumming stops,
Oh God.
and
we need a show of force.
Gazonk says, "We have come to a decision. Step forward."
We will just walk away and leave.
Do we all step forward?
I'm going to assume they want me to sit down, so that's what I'm going to. Well, no, I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to step forward. I'm not going to sit because I haven't been told to sit.
All right.
So I move right there.
Gazonk says, yeah, Gazonk says, "We'll, no." Gazonk just says, "What say you?" And then Yam, first over here, says, "Aye." Then Bula says, "Aye." Old Ira simply nods. Urug says, "Aye." Shazgob says, "Aye." Nugug says, "Nay." And Bulj says, "Aye." And then Gazonk finishes by saying, "Aye." And then Gazonk takes some other pouch of powder, throws it into the flames, which puffs up in a white flame this time. And then Gazonk says again, "Aye." And then says, "The decision has been made. We do not grant you permission to approach the Tower of Arc."
Nugug. Supply us with the champion, and we shall prove our worth to you.
Gazonk says to Mervyn, "You were not given permission to speak."
Oh, right.
The sky is
May I
literally red.
speak?
I don't know if we have time for this. I'm going to say the following. You've come to the wrong decision. You will learn retrospectively that you should have allowed us to go. We will make our way over there. We will get to the tower, and we will end this calamity. Good day. I'll just turn and leave. Because there's no way we can, I see, without attacking the elders, which is a big no-no. But there's no way we can not use lots and lots of resources on this and still get to the tower. And with the sky turning red, I think we just need to get over there.
Okay.
And I do think that the Lost Tribe is already sort of dealt with to some degree. If not,
I mean, worst case scenario, we disguise ourselves as soldiers with the Empire to get
No,
through.
that's not worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is we live out the last day of our life peacefully and then just die.
Okay, sorry.
Throw a party.
Ugh.
All right. Well, as Fred is turning, are they still kind of like sitting with their eyes closed, or has that all kind of come to an end at this point?
They are still sitting with their eyes closed, yeah. And the drumming continues as you leave. Or as you turn to leave.
Well, yes. As Fred turns to leave, Brandon's going to step forward, kind of glaring at New Gug specifically, even if he doesn't notice. And I'll loudly call him a fool.
You just say, fool?
Yeah, New Gug. Or I don't know. Do I know his name? I don't know if I know his name. But the one who said nay. I'll say that, actually. The one who said, the one who said nay, you're a fool.
Gorbash starts stepping forward and comes over to you and calmly just tells you that your audience is over. You should leave.
Sure. I'll follow everyone else.
Yeah. All right, let's get on the road now. Pyros, can I sleep in the lantern?
All right. That would mean someone else would have to carry it since I have to be in it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. Once we get out,
Okay.
because they might be a little spooked.
Sure. Oh wait, before I go into the lantern, I'll cast create food and water to make sure everyone has that while we journey.
I mean, you're in the middle of the city right now, so...
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we'll get out of the city first.
Do you? Is that your next move? Just leave?
could we see the Joss map, please? Or the Confederacy map, even. My apologies.
Sure.
So there is a path up to the Forbidden Lands. What do we think the chances are that a local knows the way? Or are we just gonna...
Knows the way through?
Yeah. Are we really just gonna try with our own merit?
I think we just try going through because I think we'll run into the Empire at some point.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
All right, the north exit it is.
So do we have all the provisions?
There is no
secured?
north exit to the city.
Sorry.
Right.
Okay, fine. Never mind.
Do we have everything we need to make a journey across the desert? Extra water and all that stuff. I mean, I guess we can just make water.
Right.
Yeah, I can make water.
Okay.
Man.
Well, if there's any equipment we need, headscarves, whatever, heat gear, that kind of thing, we should probably get that. But then I think we're on our way north.
My only other thought would be, now that we've actually exited the tent, if someone would like to try and message Nugug now to say if there's any way to convince them, since there are, well, we might not have such a good chance doing that now that we've insulted him, but
Yeah.
so I don't know if we're necessarily familiar enough for sending, but we are close enough for message.
I don't know. I think we kind of made our big show.
Fred's kind of given up on them. Like,
Yeah,
he gave a speech of his life. He offered to face any challenge or tribulation they can throw at us. We have listed our feats and accomplishments. If they will not give us further stuff, then I don't know what else we can do without straight up attacking them in a fight that we obviously wouldn't win, because that'd be attacking a whole nation, which is not our objective. We're here to save the world, not start a war. We've started the war once already. Let's not do it again. If we survive this, Frid is 100% going to sending to the Shadow Guild leader and give him another name on the list.
There we go. Now you're talking my language.
Oh my god.
All right, let's exit and then
Wait,
sort
is
of
that
like
something we could do like now that could maybe take effect within the next hour? Probably not.
I doubt
the
it.
Shadow Guild. That's
They told you that they act much more slowly than that.
Unfortunate.
yeah.
I kind of
One thing,
agree.
guys.
We could kill Nugug, follow him home and kill him or something, but I don't think that's really fruitful. I think it's probably better to just go at this point.
Like I said,
something
we'll prove that he should have given us the permission, and that'll be our justice.
Something has occurred to me, though. If we exit and then start heading north, are the guard towers in the city gonna, like, raise an alarm?
What are they going to do about it? We're leaving the city. They're not
What do
going
they
to
care?
chase
We'll
us.
just leave on the eastern road towards Kantok and then just turn north.
They trust that the Lost Tribe will stop anyone that goes there.
That's fair. Okay. All right, let's exit and then turn and head north.
Okay, yeah, like I said, any other like heat provisions or anything like that, we'll want to make sure.
We have most of them, I think, because we already had some.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we already have that stuff.
Which, if anyone hadn't figured it out yet, I do believe that the empty spot was supposed to signify the Lost Tribe, as well as that last eye from the fire turning white.
Right. Well, that's good to know that the Lost Tribe actually, at least, was going to be on our side. That's good to know. Maybe we can use that. Just convince them that Nugug's a fool, and
maybe the Lost Tribe was just teleconferencing in on the
there's on a Zoom call
on the mind link.
I think now is a good time to ask the people at our tower if the sky is red on that end.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you want to, Fred.
I don't know what it gains us, and we might need the spell slot, so I'm going to not do that.
Okay. Totally all right.
All right, I'm ready to leave heading northward then.
Okay.
Exit through the east and head north.
Yeah, let's do that. And then I'd like to, if Pyros is okay with it, I'd like to rest in the lantern, take a long rest, so that if we run into anything on the way, I'm not at a severe disadvantage with my spell slots.
At what point are you going to go into the lantern? Like right inside Joe's, or after we leave Joe's are you going into the lantern?
Is there a reason I should do it earlier?
There might be a reason, because I was just about to ask you, is there going to be any hiccup with us leaving Joe? Because I still feel like there might be a hiccup before we leave Joe.
There's a chance that if the shift of the guards has changed, they might recognize you from last night.
Yeah, it might actually be better if I'm not with you.
I think we're fine.
Okay, let's leave.
What are they going to do?
So was there any hiccup, dude?
So you are leaving then?
Mm-hmm.
Through the east gate.
Specifically the east gate.
Want to say goodbye to those guards.
Bold strategy. Considering the western gate is closer to where you were, and also is one where you haven't been causing trouble. But But Eastern Gate it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, you leave.
Okay, great.
We
I'll
head
create
north.
food and water. And then
To the lantern you go.
CB time. CBing time for bourbon.
Still kind of fuming as we go about Nugug. If that the Shadow Guild contact thing comes to, if you say that out loud, I'll express,
I
Yes.
will, yeah.
Yeah.
Once we're out of the city.
Right. Once we're on the road.
As we're walking, I want to ask the group.
I understand that you are, irked by this thing, but still, what you're suggesting right now is just like straight up murder, just assassination of a important government official.
Okay, fine. I wouldn't say it out loud. I would just think it.
I don't know. I feel
will
like
say,
playing with the end of the world, playing with the fate of the world for whatever, pride or whatever is his impediment. That's a pretty grievous sin as far as I see. But whatever.
I was saying, as we are walking and Mervin inside the lamp, and I guess Pyro too, I'm just gonna ask Frid and Raynar, like, if this is like the last day of the land, and this is the course of action we have taken, do you regret anything? And was there anything that you wish you would have done?
Oh, so many things I would have done differently had I had this knowledge I currently do. But, we didn't have that luxury. We went off the best, or what seemed like the best solution and action at the time. Obviously, much of what we've done has clearly led to further negatives, but how are we to know?
Mm-hmm.
Surely, it wasn't that obvious that stealing a top secret recipe from a government we were employed by was there was no way we could have known that would end up badly.
Mm-hmm. As for Reynard, my life ended some time ago, before I woke up, before I had visions to join you. I live now to walk this path, to walk the path Thor has set before us. And I trust that he knows what he's doing.
So
no.
From what I gather, you guys are not regretting this last day we have spent. I'm telling you guys that I have made peace with the fact that we might not actually stop the calamity.
Mm-hmm.
This is where salary is at. So if we're going ahead with whatever, I'm just along for the fun. I was like, if the world is ending, there shouldn't even be such, how would I say, we shouldn't be so lawful anymore, like we shouldn't be sticking to like traditions or whatnot, because at this point the world is ending. Who the fuck cares?
See,
Yeah.
that
For
gives
all
me-
we know, this is literally the last day.
I agree with
This
that.
is the
Like,
last
from
day we
like
might be alive.
a theological standpoint with respect to horror, it feels like when weighed against the potential end of the world, anybody who takes an action against that deserves to be eliminated with prejudice. That's my point about kind of like fuming about Nugug and talking about adding him to a list.
That being said, if knowing that like there may not be a point to holding traditions, maybe
Mhm.
the right action we should have taken there is still to forcefully displace him out of the tent. Just saying. But with my chicken personality, obviously I wasn't going to do it.
Well, we'll have another opportunity. If crossing the Forbidden Lands provokes the orcs, I agree with you. Like I'm very much in alignment that I think that old traditions need to die in the face of the potential threat.
See, Fred will actually counter this and say, I fully believe that we will still save the world. And part of me still hopes that Waldrich and the Empire will do that as well. I plan on living my life after today, and after this is resolved. And we need to do so in a way that lets people continue. What's the point in saving the world if there's nothing left to save? But the part I do agree on with you guys is this is now an urgency, and we cannot let people get in our way. We don't necessarily need to eliminate them with prejudice, but we can't let them stop us. That's for certain.
Yeah. And I'm gonna hold up the lantern and say, Pyros, you hearing all this? Any input? You could write us, right? You could write us, right?
Yeah, I guess I could. I can hear you. I can't speak to you, but I could write to Ree specifically.
And me.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yep.
I guess I'll just write. I think we'll find a way.
Finally. You guys are such a positive plot.
You're right. We should just kill each other now and then give each other a quick, painless death because we know we're all going to fail. Would you like that?
No,
Alex?
I said live the best life out. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Take in the scenery, breathe in the hot mist.
Also, if this is the last day of the world, then you definitely won't be reaching the tower because you're still like 2 days away from there.
Yep.
So you better hope that's not the case.
You should have teleported. You're right.
I don't have a teleportation point.
The only way that we would be able to teleport there is if something we had corresponds to that tower.
Here's the longest stretch possible.
Let's
Right?
just walk.
Yeah. The box. That Mervyn stole from Rich. If he's got that on him. Or potentially more likely is the scroll case that was housing something.
Didn't both of those get taken back?
By Walton Rich. And Walton Rich is meant to be at or near the tower.
And I don't think Celery's ever... Did you see the thing?
The box,
I don't think you
yes.
did.
The box, I don't think so.
Not that box. Oh, it's a different one.
The scroll case, potentially.
Okay.
Didn't we ran into Walton Ridge and he claimed to have a box that was his that the party taken? I was there for that. Are you not referring to that box?
Oh yeah,
No, that was the puzzle
The
box.
box
Yeah.
folding.
That one you definitely knew, but the scroll case that these people were carrying before you joined in. I'm not sure if you ever saw that.
Okay.
It's so funny that he was mad about the box of holding because when we went and talked to him in his basement in like the pool of water and he healed Fred, I was holding the box and he just didn't notice, I guess.
He was also a lot nicer back then.
He was so much nicer back then. He was chill. He was cool.
He also had his eyes.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair point.
Or did he? What if back then it was an illusion that he had eyes?
How did we have that time skip again? We went into a different dimension and then that time skip happened, correct?
We went into a haunted
building.
house.
Yeah. And the
Anti-magic
building.
thing, yeah.
Theoretically, could we escape the calamity if we went there and then skip a decade or something? And then during
No,
that
because
decade,
we've
calamity happened?
destroyed the house, more or less.
Well,
the magical
when
effect.
So sad.
when we put the thing to rest, the house was suddenly no longer there.
Yeah.
It had burnt down ages ago, decades ago.
We read the book on how wraiths are created. So theoretically,
You could become wraiths.
all we'd have to do is
You could have asked for 6-year-olds help in that.
is commit an act so heinous that it turns us into wraiths.
So you make your way, you make progress along the way. I guess at some point Mervyn wakes up and it's the evening and time for sleep.
Yeah. It was a better safe than sorry situation.
Yeah. So what's your plan for camping out here? Or is that your plan?
You want to stay here, or do you want to teleport back to the tower through the vine?
I say we just camp out.
Okay.
Oh my god, you don't want
That's-
comfort when it's a possibility that this might be the last day of your life. You want to camp out?
Yes, because I don't think it is the last day of our life, and I don't think we should leave a portal open in a potentially very dangerous place to our house.
Yeah, the
Sure.
denizens of the tower kind of expressed some concern about the potential of people randomly walking in through the portal.
Sure.
That would
Let's
never
do,
I
let's
mean,
do that.
out
Let's just stay
here,
here.
you've seen nobody right now, so
That's why if someone comes through the portal, you know they're in trouble.
Right.
yeah. But yeah, so you just tiny hut, I guess.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If we put the portal up in a tiny hut, does that count as leaving the tiny hut when we go through the portal?
It does.
What happens to the portal?
Well, just the tiny hut goes away when the caster leaves it,
Hmm.
so it would have done effectively nothing.
What spell do I want to prepare tomorrow? I'm like, just tiny hut. Don't mind that. I just ask for the sake of.
All right. Well, in addition to preparing your spells, I'm going to put you on the spot right now because you have all leveled up.
Oh boy.
So you need to do your level up things here in the middle of everything.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
I'm just 16. I'm pretty easy. 16
Guys,
level wizard.
should I multi-class now?
You don't want to get your last eye of meat.
Should I start multi-classing now? Do I get a sorcerer level now that I breathed in Fritz dust?
4 plus 4, 8, 130.
Okay.
Spells did I want?
Let me know whoever is ready the first.
Well, I get basically nothing, so I just got an extra 7 HP and plus 2 charisma.
Oh no.
Well, that's
I
something.
got pretty much the same thing for me. I just increase my intelligence, increase HP, and I get to pick 2 more spells, which I have not decided.
Yep, I
What's
don't
a
get
fun
any
spell that could wreak havoc at this point? Come on, guys, you guys got input. I can choose 2 spells that can create havoc at the last minute. What should I do?
We're level
Wish.
16 now, right? Just to make
I
sure.
don't get wish.
Okay. Woo!
I
Thank
don't get
God.
wish.
Okay.
Wish is next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get wish.
If we were level 17, that'd be a problem because I find that would mean I finally get access to 5th level spells, and then I have to add them all in. And I don't want to do that right now.
Mhm.
Okay.
How does Mighty Fortress last? Do I need a material component to do it? Oh my god, it requires material component.
What does Paladin get?
An ASI is the thing that I'm kind of contemplating right now. And other than that, it's just HP and 1 more 4th level spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, really the only other thing that I would have to potentially decide is if I wanted to swap one of my spells for creation, but I don't think I will.
get an ability score improvement, but I have magical mods on the two important ones. So, I can take a feat instead. I'm silly. That's how that works. Oh gosh.
That's
I mean,
even more
generally
decisions.
feats also add ability scores, but
Some do, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
and I mean, you don't necessarily have to worry about. You can like add the thing later on if you really can't decide right now. But yeah.
No, I think I'm good.
You are also taking a long rest, so you are gaining the effects of a long rest here as well. Just to be clear. So you're fully
Sorry,
rested.
this is just an RPG bot, or sorry, this is a Roll20 question. But how do I do expertise in a skill?
There's a specific thing for it. Hold on a minute. It's like a special setting.
So when you click on the gear on the top right there next to where it says spells, in the middle row down towards the bottom, you can change the individual skills to expertise.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
What are you getting expertise in?
Intimidation. Seems fitting as, conviction grows as we get nearer the end, and anyone that stands in my way will be intimidated to get the fuck out of my way.
What's Fred doing? Are you going sorcerer, bard?
Spard.
Spard.
Spard. Sparda. Bard 12 and ASI. No, feet even. I know what I'm reading. And I'm swapping a spell as well because there's a bunch of spells I have that I don't use that I can't see me using.
What if this is the one time when you need those spells?
Then that'll be unfortunate, won't it?
Okay, I'm all done then.
I'm just going through feats, but I'm thinking I might just take Piercer.
It's a pretty good one.
Because I still have my list of feats I was considering when I took Sharpshooter. Which is a very good feat. Sharpshooter is a very good.
It is.
I like that one a lot.
So as you're still thinking, you are continuing on your journey, I assume, northwards towards the tower?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Do we see any signs of an army having gone through?
No. In fact, you have on your map, you have like a path leading this way. But you don't see any sort of sign of any kind of road or anything, so you're kind of just navigating by the map and the sun. You see no signs that anyone's been here. It's the desert, so can't really say for how long, because those tracks would disappear pretty quick, but...
Plus, they did have their airship, so I guess you would have only seen, like, if they took a horse this way.
That's true.
You do not see any airship prints on the sand.
Airship friends. Right.
As you're getting closer to the north, there's some, high dunes blocking your view a little bit, but you can see the mountains up there. Some snow-capped mountains, the big mountain range to the north. Curiously, you don't see the tower yet. And also worth mentioning, the sky is still red.
It hasn't changed since we've been on the road.
No.
Do you want to try messaging Eniok?
Yeah. Before we finish our log. Sorry, I know we said I'm still doing like level up stuff. Do we want the forgery kit on disguise self or dark vision?
Well, I recall that on our little folded note, they mentioned that they have magic detection stuff at the entrances.
Yeah.
So I don't think that disguise self will actually be all that helpful.
That's fair. It's fair. So why don't I put it on dark vision? Just in case.
Okay.
Something
I finished my level up too. I have no idea what random spells I've taken, and see what havoc I can create with this. I took all utility spells. I took Etherealness and Passwall.
Passwall can be fun.
Yeah, I'm like, let's see where does this go. It's called how else can I still escape? As if teleporting is not enough. Oh. I get to prepare 21 spells now. That's a lot.
Wow.
Okay. So the feat I'm picking is Meta Magic Adept, and that gives me 2 more sorcery points and 2 more Meta Magic options. Those I am picking the Heightened Spell, which gives a target disadvantage on a save if I use 3 of them. And I will also get Extended Spell. No, Distance Spell, that's the one it was. Double the range. That's the feat.
All right. Is anyone still thinking, or are you all
Yeah.
done?
I've got to do my spells
I'm
now.
all set.
Yeah, I'm just picking what spells I'm
Spells.
preparing. What is it that I forget every single time? Intelligence. I hate having to pick what spells to prepare.
You never know what's useful
Yeah, you never know.
until we are actually in there.
Well, good thing you've done it a lot, so you know what spells you have. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
HJ? Kate?
Not yet.
Yeah, just picking one more.
You can always just keep what you had.
Well, I have to add one more at minimum.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Irresistible dance is like really good if you want to get that. There's no saving throw involved in irresistible dance. You just have to dance.
Yeah. Otto's irresistible dances is fun.
Yeah, you just have to dance. I'm like, I don't care whether you want to dance or not. You just have to dance.
Unless they're immune to charm.
Yeah.
All elves are from that town in Footloose.
Should have used that on Nugug in the middle of the council.
Starter class, I was like, I can make you dance.
Well, while HJ decides on one final spell, as you continue on, takes you it's like late in the afternoon as you see in the distance, you see some ruins which are where you'd expect from the map. Apparently the map indeed represents this truthfully, that there are ruins here. You also notice that you suddenly feel cold.
That sounds like a good time for some divine sense.
Your divine sense shows nothing.
No one dead nearby.
Or senses nothing.
This is nothing. All right, I'll relay that to everybody, but I still feel something's amiss here.
Were there parts of the entire confederation that we felt cold before? No, right? It was only really hot near where was that? The dunes of flame.
Yeah. You haven't felt cold, and you shouldn't be feeling cold because you are in the desert in the middle of the day.
That's weird. That's bad.
Any sky ships that we can see?
Is anyone trying to skywrite us?
Clearly, we should
no.
skywrite first.
We should
Are you watching?
Also, so is by the way, Mervyn the only one who's rolling for the health? Did everyone else see that roll of 1 and decide? Just go with the average.
It didn't even occur to me not to do that.
I've just been doing averages.
Yeah, okay.
I've been doing average too. I didn't roll a single hit that.
Mervin's chaotic good, so of course I have to roll.
All right.
He's a chaotic man, so I must be chaotic too. Sometimes I take the average. I've been flip flopping, but I decided to roll, and I have to keep track of like what is the amulet and what's my real base health.
My real base health is a grand total of 82, real high. My real high.
My true base health is 97.
So, do you go towards the ruins, or do you try to like circumvent them, or?
I don't see any sky ships, right? I don't think there's any worry for me. Maybe it's just like as we approach, the towers get colder. That's my guess.
Are we on a road right now?
Not really.
Again, there are no roads here.
So there is no road.
Yeah,
We're
we've just been
sort
trying to
of
follow
loosely
the like,
following the map.
yeah, the map.
Compass. We've been following a
There,
compass.
I mean, there probably has been a road here at some point, but to your best knowledge, there is nobody living here, so.
I mean, I don't see a good reason to go through the ruins because they're not like truly on the way to the tower.
Maybe this is where the lost tribe lives.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that was my sense as well, but you know, divine sense hasn't picked anything up. There's nothing here.
I want to go towards the ruins for the sake of teleportation back there.
Sure.
That's my rationale.
Okay.
Assuming that we leave more than one day.
You're gonna
Very
take
positive
something
thinking here.
take something from the ruins.
If it looks of significance, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna watch Celery's back while doing that. I'm not afraid of
Stealing?
ruins.
Stealing from the dead.
At what point does grave robbing and archaeology, you know, it is a
It's
blurred
like
line, isn't it?
At what point does one become the other?
That's right.
it's a couple of days to Armageddon. Like, who cares? At this point, I'm like, whatever. I'll just do what I want. Enjoy the rest of my life.
Well, as you approach the ruins, you're still ways away from them, but you're getting a little bit closer. You suddenly start seeing this sort of green mist kind of form all around you.
Green.
Oh, no.
Green is good, right? We determined that earlier.
Yeah,
Um,
green is good.
And out of this green mist slowly rises what look like some hazy humanoid shapes, and they are all around you.
Oh.
Is somebody in a gaseous form? Could I check that? A creature or a person in gaseous form? Could I check that with any kind of check?
Like poking them with a stick.
No, more like an Arcana, I think, or a nature.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you can do sure, do Arcana. Your Arcana check tells you that you need to do a religion check.
Religion check? Really? I would do that. Okay, so I have no idea. I'm not that good at religion.
what's the
Yeah,
disposition?
you're not really quite sure, but your questions are answered fairly quickly because these like humanoid shapes continue to kind of form around you, and there's just like a ton of them. But in front of you is one that forms much more clearly into the form of a large orc. And the apparition speaks to you in a voice that sounds like it's coming from actually like from behind you, even though it's speaking to you from the front. It sounds like it's coming from behind you, and it's got this very ethereal tone to it and everything. And the apparition says, "You are not permitted."
All right, I'll go out on a limb. You saw us before at the council. You know who we are and why we're here.
The apparition says, it says, the council has decided you do not have permission.
You had to expect we would come anyway. You know what's at stake. You supported us. One fool shouldn't stand between us and saving the world.
The apparition says, we are not who you think. Turn back or be destroyed. You do not have permission.
I've picked
Well,
my
we
spells,
should.
by the way.
Excellent. I'm leaning towards just attack. What do you guys think?
Like, why can't we be like insurance policy? Let us camp out here. If there's any hiccup at the tower, just let us go. That's where my head is. Like, no conflict. I just want to camp out here.
The end of the world is imminent. Your traditions, your bureaucracy is not helpful right now.
The apparition says, you are not permitted.
How many other ones are surrounding us right now?
There's like hundreds.
Hundreds. Great.
How many can fit on your
Besides,
Pegasus?
besides getting permission from the elders, is there an alternative way we can get entrance?
The apparition says, it just says no.
What's with the pause? You keep me in suspense. You know you want to say something else. Come on, get it out.
Rolling into persuasion check on the DM.
Come on,
What?
we poked the gas thing in the belly. Come on, tell us.
So okay, so the main spirit is like more corporeally formed, the one who was speaking to us. The ones around us were more ghostly. Are they all armed?
You don't see any. They are vague humanoid shapes.
I suspect they don't need to be armed.
It's probably a
Right,
good
but
suspicion.
If they're, warriors or something like that, I'm just kind of wondering what they look like.
I'm a little afraid.
I'm going to say this to them.
In class and we're gonna die.
Yeah, I'm gonna just straight up tell you that your experience, your 16 levels of experience at life tells you that there's no fighting out of this.
I'm going to say to them, you're correct. The elders, plural, did not give a resounding approval to us. However, all others bar one, including the elder from the Lost Tribe, did so. You can either follow that ruling, or you can have the ability to dispute it after the world ends. If you don't let us go, the world will end, and there will be no opportunity to ever follow and respect the traditions. What we are asking is for you to not toss aside, but to pause your traditions, to hold out until we prove that we should have had permission, like we said when speaking to the elders. Your traditions mean, and culture means a lot to you and all the other orcs here, but upholding them
Not to us.
upholding those won't save any lives. You can kill us physically, there's no question about that, but if you do, you're just saving us a few days.
The apparition says, "Our world has already ended. What care have we for yours?"
I apologize for your world ending. You have my condolences. However, I ask you this then. What do you gain by following the order of holding us without permission to pass? What do you and your people gain by following the ways of the elders?
The apparition says, "We do not follow anyone of our own volition."
You're compelled. By what?
If I'd
I
have to
feel
guess,
like
some
they
ancient
can't answer the
pact.
question.
Yeah,
I feel like they can't answer the question.
the apparition says, "We are cursed to this task forever and ever."
if you were able to give us help in this dire moment of need, I and my party would resolve to do all that we could to break your curse. Is there anything you can tell us about how we could possibly do that?
The apparition says, there is no atonement for our sins.
What sins? Nothing can be so bad that it requires eternal servitude.
Reynard just sort of just disagrees with that, but keep going.
Yeah. The apparition says, it says, yes, there is. You do not speak for us.
Every single one of you has done something so heinous to earn this. What about that guy? I pointed at a random one.
Oh, Steve, he slaughtered 600 children.
It's like the one guy, yeah.
The apparition says, we all share this burden.
Okay.
So was it like a collective tribe mistake that they made
Is this because you failed in your mission in the past?
regarding the previous calamity?
Mm-hmm.
The apparition says, I will not speak of that.
But you know of it, Sven. Do you wish that to befall the land again?
It was not referring to what you think it was referring.
Oh.
It was referring to the. You asked two
Something
things.
Wishful thinking.
It answered the first one.
Hmm.
Could we see the tower from here? Still no, right?
No.
What is your
You see
exact
the
mission?
mountains.
Hmm.
The apparition says, we guard the tower. Nobody approaches it without permission.
Specifically, permission from the Council of Elders.
Yes.
Hypothetically, if they're all gone, then what permission do you need?
I was thinking about that. It was,
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
like,
too.
no, but we can't. Could we? No, we can't. No.
This is just hypothetical.
Yeah, hypothetically.
You can speak with them now, can you not?
The apparition says, we know of their will.
Can you tell them that we would pledge to break this curse and free your people? Now that we know your affliction? You would have us as powerful allies.
It says, I cannot do that.
The Council may not wish for the curse to be broken regardless.
Do you wish for the curse to be broken?
No.
Do you
Think twice
wish
if you're under duress.
to have the continued decisions of the council? Do you believe that they will continue to make the correct choices?
It says we follow their will.
Can we do a sending to Nugug and tell him we're coming back to Joust to murder him if he doesn't change his mind?
We could. I don't know.
I don't think we'd get away
Should.
from here. I don't think we'd get away from here first.
Well, no, we'll tell them we'll be right back. We'll have permission in just a couple days.
Has the Empire already passed through?
The apparition says others have. Others have, yes.
Before or after they were given permission?
Ooh, good question.
Nobody can. Nobody gets through without permission.
When did they come through?
Time means nothing to us. Actually, it says, time means nothing to us, but more suffering. This ghost seems fairly morose and seems to be, it seems to be very, it seems to be suffering, but also it wants to suffer.
Do you believe there is purpose in your suffering?
Yes.
Do you believe that if the world were to end, your suffering would have the same purpose?
It says, our world has already ended.
The elders that give you their deliberation and their will that you carry out in form of permission, if they were to all disappear, then you would have no one to provide permission. Everyone would just not exist, and there would be no one to come or go to the tower. Your purpose and suffering as protectors would be meaningless, as there'd be no one to protect from and nothing to protect. Can you not see that?
The ghost says, then we would continue to suffer forevermore.
I'm getting to the sense that there's no way we can talk our way out of like them doing any other decisions.
Well,
I have a question for it. You're aware that the Empire has permission to enter, yes? The Empire's permission to Empire. The Empire has permission to enter, yes?
They say, we know of others who are permitted.
Okay. If we were to become a part of their army, would we be allowed to enter?
The ghost pulls out a little rule book and starts reading reading the fine print.
Yeah.
It seems very much like we're not going to be able to convince them to go against the will of the council. We have to find some way for us getting there to be part of within their rules, basically.
I'm just hoping that we can like ask the robot to find the square root of -1, like kind of get through by breaking its logic, you know.
The ghost says the ghost says you are not permitted, as its reply to your question.
Okay.
Can we pull out the piece of paper that says we're
Yeah.
Like, we're part of the Empire.
We're part of the Empire.
It's worth a try.
Does their permission not extend to us? We, again, pointing to the thing, literally work for them.
The ghost still says you are not permitted.
Yeah, we very specifically were not allowed to go. So
Right. There's a spirit of the law, letter of the law thing. I really am, like, unironically leaning towards let's intimidate at a distance this Nukug guy and see if we could reverse the council's decision. I don't know how else we do that from here without burning, days of our lives, days we potentially don't have traveling back and forward to the city.
Yeah.
I think there's something we can say to him right now that will let us pass. It's just we
I
have to work
agree.
out what.
No.
Because I mean, think about it like this: they haven't outright killed us immediately, and the spokesperson from the Lost Tribe agreed with us.
Yeah.
So there is definitely an out. We just have to find it. From what we've said and been told, we can't physically beat them in a physical confrontation.
All right, let me take a stab then. All right. Apparition, do you have a name?
What name I once had is meaningless.
I understand. That's true for me as well. I understand sins so great that they require penance, that they require suffering, that a curse, such as the one your people experience, may feel deserved. I understand this. I understand too well, as a paladin of horror, what justice means, what vengeance means, what payment of sins means. But you must understand, look, pointing upwards to the blood-red sky. This world is on the cusp of ending. And if this small band can do something to stop it, to save it, and you stand in our way, whatever crime earned you this curse would pale against allowing the calamity to escape and descend upon this world. You have the power in your hands now to turn the tide and to repay, even if you cannot fully repay the debt you owe. You can at least do good. Some part of you remains. Some part of your will remains. And unless you are a creature of evil, callous and unfeeling as perhaps you want to believe, you should do what is good.
I like the unless you are a creature of evil.
Well, maybe it is. I don't know. In that case, I don't know what our recourse is, but that's my idea.
Do you want to drop a persuasion check on that?
I'd rather do intimidation, but yeah.
Well, that wasn't very intimidating.
That's true.
that was rather persuading.
All right.
I'll do you think a flash of genius will help?
Probably
18?
No, don't worry. I've got the intimidation in the back pocket when he says no.
Right,
So.
yeah. I also have another argument that I'd like to try.
I think you should do Flash of Genius. I mean, just because
Yeah.
I'm inhumanly good at persuasion rolls doesn't mean that the average person.
Yeah.
Like an
okay,
18 is a pretty high
Yeah,
roll.
okay.
It's just
18.
yeah.
18.
Okay.
Let me mark down.
Renard digging deep and doing his best.
Just because I physically couldn't get lower than that roll that you've just made doesn't mean that it's not a good
Just because
roll.
I couldn't possibly load that roll doesn't
the
mean
perils of character interaction versus player interaction.
The spirit says the spirit says that was too long. I didn't listen to any of that. No, it says it kind of repeats itself, saying that you do not speak for us.
All right,
Here's
get
my
ready.
suggestion. Let's listen to each other's suggestions. Yeah,
Okay, fine.
go ahead.
Oh, I have some very roundabout philosophy I'd like to try to break its brain.
Oh Christ!
My idea is we challenge this orc as the challenge that we wanted, and then let it
Interesting.
convey that news back to Thingy, who's not letting us pass.
That's a
If
very
we-
good idea.
If we defeat
Okay.
this one in us against him as an individual, does that not display our strength? That's of course
very
assuming
good.
that we can beat him. I have no idea if we physically can beat this one spiritual.
Yeah,
It's a good idea.
that is a very good idea. May I try my philosophy?
Go ahead. I mean, I'm not going to stop
Great,
weird philosophy
Sure.
questions.
great. Okay. You said that when we asked your name, you said you don't have one, that you once had one, but you don't anymore. Correct?
Oh, this is like an interrogation.
It is. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
or,
Correct,
the spirit says, correct? Yes.
Um.
Am I under oath?
Let's start.
We're the ones
So-
asking the questions here.
We're the ones asking the questions here. Would you say that you are the person that existed however many years ago? You said your
Yes.
name does not matter. But you said that your name is not your name. You don't have it anymore. You don't claim it. It is not. So you are not you. Or you are not as you were.
It said that its name was meaningless at this point.
Your name is meaningless. Do you remember your life before?
Yes.
Interesting. Do you,
Just walks away.
it's falling apart my argument. It is.
Oh no.
I'm not skilled at cross-examination. I feel like you can see where I'm going, and then you're like, now.
you can turn it around.
Okay.
I have no idea where you're going with this, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
don't
okay.
know
I'll
if
make my final
you do
point.
either, Kate.
The person that existed however many years ago, the person who you are but a shell of, is the one who has been cursed to carry out the will of the elders. And I argue that you are not cursed. What stands before me is not cursed to do those things. Because what stands before me did not commit those crimes. What stands before me is simply vapors and nothingness. You are not beholden to that curse.
The spirit says,
You are, and you are not.
The
It's an
spirit
existential
says,
crisis.
the spirit says, you do not speak for us.
I throw sarcasm.
and turns its attention to somebody else.
You keep saying
wanna die.
you do not speak for us. So who do speak for you? Are you referring to the elders? Or is there some other entity, the one that bestowed you this curse?
No, the ghost says, we speak for ourselves.
All right, let's try the challenge thing now, Fred.
Are you able to communicate with the elders, or just you feel their will?
No, no, we are not able to communicate with the elders. We only feel their will. Yes.
So yeah, they wouldn't be able to relay back any sort of result.
The ghost decided to not be cryptic for a moment.
I mean, Nuka might just take our word if we message him and say we
If I message him beforehand, say, if we defeat the champion of the Lost Tribe, is that proof enough of our worth? And then
It's a good idea.
they would have the will, and they would know immediately.
I mean, it's also possible that we could always also just ask him, like, what would it take to change his mind?
You are also from what you know from the past, what you would expect is that the elders, at this point it's been like 2 days since you were in Just. Far as you know, the elders were going to be leaving once the Empire's decision had been made, and then they were convinced to stay to hear you out. So, as far as you can guess, the elders are probably not gathered anymore. So,
Well, I think it's worth trying to contact Nugug, let them know we came up here anyway, and we're going to fight the champion or whatever. I don't know. I mean, if that's sufficient for him, great. If not, I think the threaten him plan.
yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is, even if Nugu changes his mind,
Oh, I
that's not
understand.
gonna.
But I think
That
at
that
this
doesn't do
point,
anything for you.
We
Yeah,
may
no.
not.
Basically,
not-
we're not getting the right angle to like break this. The angle lies within the people right here. We have to use the clues that are given right in this scenario with this apparatus.
You say
Which
you
is like-
cannot act of your own
Yeah.
will, but what is your will? What would you do if you could act on it?
We would suffer.
Okay, here's a question. Why did the Lost Tribe agree and give us permission?
Wait, what?
We're
With
assuming the White
elders.
Flame.
They voted for us.
Yeah,
They
it's kind of an
figured it out.
assumption, but
Ah.
yeah.
Yeah. The ghost says, nothing but the will of the council matters.
Why do you have a vote then?
Nothing but the will of the council matters.
What happens when the council is no more?
Then so be it.
Whose will matters then? And whose will do you follow then, if the council disappears?
Will you cease to exist?
Then we follow no will. We simply suffer forevermore.
Haha. Oh. The world's gonna end in a few days. The council is never gonna reconvene. It's never gonna reconvene.
Yeah, and
They're
like
essentially
what
gone.
the
That's
ghost
not
is
gonna-
what the ghost is saying, they don't care because then they're just suffering forever, and that's fine to them.
So
We
Yeah,
checked that
yeah.
appropriately, I think.
I guess my point was that your mission of guarding the tower is done because the council's never gonna convene again because the world's gonna end in a few days.
So wait, are we now trying to plan to convince them around the will of the council to get them to give us passage? Is this the approach we're taking?
Or like try and convince them that they did in fact give us permission.
No, that wouldn't work.
They
No.
know that we don't have.
They seem to know.
Yeah.
They only act on the will of the council. So are we going to take that angle or are we finding a different approach? Because my senses is like we can't act onto the council. There's no way we're going to communicate across like 10 different people and have them revote. There's no way that's happening. So we
Yeah.
have to find the angle that is getting the will of the council. So who represents the council? So if that's the approach, then we need to think that way. Otherwise, maybe that's not the approach. There is something else that has not been said.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think there's a way to convince the council from here if they aren't convened.
So there must
like
be a
that.
substitute for the will of the council.
is your task to only prevent people from entering the tower?
The ghost pulls out a small rule book, reads the fine print, and says, what do you mean? Elaborate, please.
Your task, surely, is to prevent anyone from releasing what is in the tower. So that
Oh,
no
no,
calamity.
No. Their task is to stop
Does-
people
does-
from going there.
Okay.
Does your task also include like granting passage to people inside there?
Granting passage to the tower, you mean?
Yeah.
No.
So you say your heart's desire is to suffer for your crimes. Is that right?
Yes.
Is there a way we could inflict that sort of suffering on you as punishment for what you've done? And earn passage. Hey, come on, it's an angle. And earn passage that way.
Yeah,
What
I
if-
don't
what
think
if
they
in
have
fact
the-
they have already
I don't
atoned?
think they have the ability to
Um,
grant passages. I think that
The apparition says there's nothing that would change our suffering short of you becoming a part of us.
Oh,
excuse me.
Change your suffering? And what does that even mean? Tell me more.
Us become ghosts like them?
Yeah, you joining the tribe in their eternal suffering. That would increase the overall suffering.
You implied earlier that you are not the elder of your tribe that helped make the decision. Is that right?
I speak for us.
I
But
think
we
you
don't
did.
take that as the angle of getting into the tower. They're just answering your question, like how can you make us suffer? Then you join in the suffering. It's how you increase the suffering. It's not telling you can go into the tower.
No, right.
Are-
I get you. I get you.
Are we able to speak with your elder?
I think we already are.
The ghost says I speak for us.
What if we took the angle of they no longer need to suffer because they have already atoned their sins? That's why they no longer need to exist there.
Is that not what I tried to do?
Yeah, that is
You're
kind of
trying to pose an existential crisis,
Yeah.
but you never really solved. You never really tried to solve like what are they really trying to atone for? Frankly
think
speaking, we
what's
don't even know
hard-
what sin they're committing.
Yeah, I know, but I guess
They weren't willing to
they-
speak of that.
Yeah.
they are in some sort of magical contract that
Mhm.
I don't think you could convince them they should break because they're not able to break it. What I was
That's
trying
called a
to do was
curse.
like, yeah, a curse. Yeah, exactly. But what I was trying to do is what I was trying to do is like trick them into thinking that it's like the curse is already broken or whatever, or that the
I
curse
could just
What if we
exists.
just
touch them to
dispel
try to
magic?
break the curse, but they're not willing. I mean,
Just get rid of it anyway. If disregard whether they're willing and just do it anyway.
I mean, he's pretty clearly, flatly said, "I'm not willing."
Yeah, I mean,
Do we just not believe him?
Mhm.
my initial thought right now is probably extremely stupid just because there's no way that something this low would actually, work.
Dispel
Uh,
magic.
Remove
Yeah.
curse.
Oh.
But if it's an entire tribe that's cursed, at most I could do one, And
Right.
if it's because if the curse is keeping his spirit here, it'll just make his spirit go away if it even works. So it's not actually helpful.
Well, and then Steve steps into his place. And then,
Right. I mean, I could ask, do all of them feel the same? Like, do all of your people, not one of you, would end this curse if you could? Sure, I'll ask that.
Yeah, the apparition says, I speak for all of us.
What if we carried the scene that you're carrying with that no longer, like, you guys no longer need to be here and we can just move forth to, like, correct what's going to be corrected?
The apparition says, it is our burden to carry, but if you wish to join the suffering, that can be arranged.
if we join you, can we go to the tower?
I think if we join
The apparition,
them, literally
the apparition,
ghosts.
the apparition thinks for a moment and says, yes, you could.
Ugh. Okay. Well,
I think it's a
I
good
think we found our angle.
idea. Yeah.
Sounds like
The only way to find out what they're really atoning for is to join them. Then we can correct the scene, and then at that point relieve ourselves of the scene as well. That's the only way to know what it is. If they're not willing to divulge.
I'm pretty sure joining them involves dying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're gonna die in 4 days, what's the difference? 4 or 5 days a week. This is how at peace I am with dying, guys.
Should one? Well, Celery, would you like to be the guinea pig?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not opposed to it. Sure.
That's terrible. Now I can let you do that.
They didn't exactly say that we need to die to join the cause. This is just our assumption. But like, if we are up to go for this plan, I'm fine doing it first.
All right.
You can ask.
Yeah, we're
You're
gonna,
right there.
Okay,
You're literally
now,
right there.
now we're getting the full
So
terms of the
what do we?
contract.
How do we join you and your cause?
The apparition says, says sacrifice of flesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I have no idea
What amount?
you're
What
referring
amount
to.
of flesh? What amount of flesh will suffice per person?
Is that metric or imperial?
The apparition says, for the it says with the offering of a hand and an eye, you could go.
Is that one each, or is that collective?
One hand, one eye.
I mean,
I'm good with the hand.
Does
If
it
it's
have to be
one-
from us, like we could just use the bind, go back to our tower, find a willing donor.
God, no! I mean, how does the changeling power work? If Anlos
No,
a hand,
that's not how it works.
It doesn't let you grow things now.
Yeah.
Like I
I'm
said,
sorry.
I'm good with giving a hand. So,
can you
wait,
cast
it's
all
per
your spell
person
stuff?
or collectively? I don't carry anything, so I can still cast with one hand.
Okay.
Theoretically.
You can do somatic components with the.
We'll see how it goes. Don't think too hard about it.
Okay. All right.
So against it collectively, it's one hand and one eye, or it's per person. You have to give both.
One hand and one eye.
Okay, just take both from me, and then let's see what happens.
Well, no. Let's take a hand from one person and eye from one person.
So where
and
is this
not
area
good
that
enough.
where do we offer? Do we offer it right here, or is there like a ritual place that we need to do it?
The ghost says, I will take them.
Oh, okay.
And then keep it swift as much as you can.
Should we just draw straws? Just randomize who
No,
loses
it's fine.
the hand and
I'll
who
do
loses
it.
the eye?
Seriously,
No,
think
I
you're
can't
thinking way
get
too
my
hard
hand
into
as a
it.
Great weapon fighter.
I already feel. Seriously, we take too long to come to a decision. I'm good. I tell the ghost, go ahead, take them. These people can't make up their minds.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. The ghost approaches Celery. And puts an arm through your chest. You feel cold. And then everybody can see around you that, well, first of all, you probably scream in agony because it's extremely painful.
Keep it swift. I'm gonna shout, keep it swift, keep it swift.
It's not swift at all because what's happening is that like it starts with your hand and basically like your hand is being slowly eroding. It kind of erodes away from starting from your fingertips and just like slowly goes through. And it is very much not a swift process. It's very painful. What's left is just bone. You can see Celery's like skeletal bone hand there. It goes up to the wrist. And then the bones themselves just disappear as well. And that was just the hand. Then
Oh my god.
your whole vision blurs completely and goes black as you feel this intense pain in your eye. It feels like your eye is like your eye feels extremely cold, but at the same time it feels like it's burning. And to everybody else, you can basically just see the eye again, like slowly disappear, layer by layer. It is a very gruesome sight, overall. And eventually, it stops. And it's over. And what everybody can see is that where Celery's hand was and where your eye was, now there's this green mist that forms into a new hand. But
Awesome.
you also quickly realize that this hand doesn't exist. It's you can't
Phantom hand.
you can't touch anything with it. It just passes through everything. But there's green mist in the form of a hand where that once was, and the same with an eye. In your eye socket, there is this orb of green mist. You have let's see. You lose 19 hit points. 19 maximum hit points.
Okay, got it.
And from now on, you have disadvantage on perception when it comes to sight. You also have disadvantage on many things related to hands. Like, well, sleight of hand, for example, and a lot of hand-based skills. But you can still cast your magics and wield a weapon, of course not at the same time, but...
Might be a little difficult if something has both material and somatic components, but...
Yeah, you can stick your arcane focus in your mouth. What if you swallow your arcane focus?
Good plan.
But yeah, this happens, and then the ghost takes its hand away from you and says, "You are one of us."
As one of you, could I learn what is the sin I'm trying to atone now?
The ghost says, "We do not speak of that. You are permitted.
We just suffer.
Go." And the ghosts kind of part, letting you walk towards the Tower of Arc.
All of us?
Yeah.
It was smoother than expected.
Yeah. Damn,
Technically,
sorry,
that
was
could have gone
badass.
That was smoother than expected.
All right, well,
Let's
we
go.
can try some remove curse once we're on the other side of this. So, I won't worry.
Now that I'm one of them, I'm like, do I ever die? Could I ask
I
this
guess
apparently, do I ever die now?
Your hand and your eye are one of them.
Yeah. You would still
Existential
die.
My
crisis.
eye
You'd
and
be stuck
No.
there.
whatever lives? Oh my god. Okay. I should have taken
Okay.
Bixby hand, and then this green mist could have become an actual hand. Anyway, it's
Give
fine.
them a mage hand and an arcane eye.
Yeah, right?
That's funny.
All right. I guess we're
So-
on our way north.
Does celery now qualify as an eye of Groomsh, or would they need to take the other eye too?
Or they take the misty eye.
Mhm.
Well, you continue on towards the Tower of Arc then, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Celery, you are in your pain continues. Your hand
Once
and
we're-
your eye feel pain, constant
Phantom pain.
I
Mhm.
will try a cleansing touch once we're like well north of the ruins.
Mhm.
Just see if it does anything.
Good try. No. Good attempt. It is getting late, so you will soon have to camp out. But you end up getting to a vantage point from where you can see, finally, looming in the distance, the Tower of Arc, which is shorter than you expected. And around it, you can see that there's some light construction. There's two half circles around it, and you can see an airship.
Time to go back to our math homework.
Which, by the way, I don't think Reynard's seen, right? You haven't seen the airship at all.
No.
And just to reiterate, for everyone's sake, an airship is not something that none of you had ever seen or heard of before. It is not a concept that has existed, as far as you know, before.
I recall it was really big too, right?
Only in Mervin's
Yep.
dreams.
But yeah, do you tiny hut and sleep? One final sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Should we think of a plan at all? So maybe I can pick my spells a little wiser.
That's a good idea. Yes.
When has that ever helped?
How close are we to, like, if there's any camping point of the Empire? How close are we to it?
Like 10 miles.
Oh, that's far. Okay, no point scouting. Okay.
Yeah, I guess
Like
the
at
only
this
thing
at this point, you can probably think that you on they cannot see you.
Which one we want? We also can't see them, but yeah. Like specific stuff.
But this is a decent amount of activity, right? Like, well, you said it's 10 miles away. I don't imagine you can tell very much that distance.
So, from the things I had looked at earlier, the only thing I could really, like, what I think might be accurate is that the Company 2 would be at the south post, and Company 4 would be at the east one.
Yeah. Correct.
In which case, asking questions about weapons and fish.
Wait, sorry, I'm a little confused.
I'm not sure
Why-
the
why is
covert.
that?
Well, Company 4 is nicknamed Fish Group, and Company 2 is nicknamed Weapon Group. I'm not positive the covert questions will actually have to do with those things.
Catch me up on what you mean by that. Why is the South one Company 2?
Because if you assume that 3 is Y, then X becomes 6.
Sure.
And then when you do the math on Company 1, Company 2, Company 3, and Company 4, you get 6, 8, 12, and 3. And then East Guard is also 3, and South Guard is 8.
Yeah, it says X plus 2 right above south, and then it says X divided by 2 right east.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then it says
So what about
5X
west?
in the west, but I'm not sure.
West would be, so that's 30 is the number
Right.
for West for coast?
Yeah.
Right, which Duke
Correct.
did mention that, it's possible that you might need to add some of the numbers together, but I still didn't quite come up with what the West Guard post would be.
Oh.
Let me know at any point if you want to do some intelligence checks. if you want your characters to attempt
I'll give bardic
Yeah.
inspiration to anyone.
to get some hints.
One of the intelligence casters would probably be the best
Yeah,
bet
that
for
would probably. I can roll for math.
Then you will get a bardic inspiration from me.
Okay, I will.
And does
roll
anyone
for
want to
math.
help you with that maths before we start?
My int is so low that I don't even feel like I could be helpful.
I can cast this.
Oh,
guidance.
Yep.
guidance. Yes,
Sure, I'll help.
wonderful. Okay, just
I'll
straight
help by not
intelligence, or with any skill.
Intelligence.
Just straight intelligence. Okay. Advantage, and then I'll add a new 4 and a D10.
Mhm.
Right. So that's the D4.
Okay. That's both of them. That's the D4 and the D10.
Mhm.
And 26 on a straight ability check ain't bad.
Yeah, 26. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
It's one more than what would technically be the maximum.
Yeah.
So Mervyn,
Mm-hmm.
with your amazing brain,
It is an amazing brain.
you consider these ideas that you've been having here as a group, and you intelligently figure out that the note that you have will not tell you where each company is. You cannot find that out by reading the note. You also realize, as some like you realize that there's a Y pointing at the 3 in parentheses, and from that you deduce that all the where it says West Guard Post 3, that is Y. Where it says South Guard Post 5, that is also Y. And East Guard Post 10, that is also Y.
So the
You big brain all of this, and you're like, hey, hold on, everybody.
I big brain hard.
Actually,
Okay. So then,
As a player, that just confuses me a lot more.
no. Oh, don't worry. I was a math major before I switched. Algebra's fun. This is like, okay, so for the south one, y equals 5, and then I'm going to assume x will always equal 3 plus y. That's just consistent. No?
See, if the Y that is pointing to the 3 actually also means all the other ones, then the X that is pointing to the 3 plus Y probably means that all the other ones as well are X.
Okay.
X equals to y minus 1 plus 2y. Essentially, that's what she's trying to say. Okay, I got this.
Yeah, y is equal
that's not what I
to
meant.
3 in the west, but then what
So
x
it
is
was
equal
solve all the
to...
conditions at West Guard Post then? But then what does the 5x refer to? Right, because then at West Guard Post, you can say y is 3 and x is 6 for company 1. Y is 3 and x is what? 8 for company 2, right? I mean, that's all the ones we already done. But it changes at each of the other guard posts.
So there should be 4 sets of number at each places. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a mix of company that are at all of the guard posts. Is that it?
I think it's possible we have to know which company is at which post to know what X is. So like if company 2, let's use a less complicated one. If company 1 is at south,
Mm-hmm.
for example, then y is equal to 5 and x is equal to 3 plus y. And then we'll be able to gather what the south secret number is, which is x plus 2.
Give me the answer to that.
So if company 1 is at the south, then y is equal to 5 and x is equal to
Equals to
8.
10.
And
South
then
guard
it's
post
10.
equals to 10.
So if company 1 is at the south, then their secret number is 10.
I agree.
And then, I wonder if the idea is to put them all so that the numbers equal. So that their secret numbers are all equal. If that's possible. To
Are we
assign
thinking this is like a password?
It's possible. It's possible the password, like how many fish are there in the pond, and then you have to give the secret number or something like that.
Or was company 1 that had something about dragons?
Yeah. I mean, I have a feeling that the secret covert questions are not trivia about dragons. I have a feeling they're coded questions. If only it was.
I'd have an advantage on that.
So technically, we only need to solve 4 sets of equations. That's it. We just need to choose which post we go in, know the answer for what kind of questions come up, and then we can go in from one post.
I mean, there's 3 posts and 4 companies.
No.
So
we don't need to ask the question. We just need to answer the question, right?
We don't know.
We don't know.
The note says test with covert questions, and it points towards these company names.
Yeah. And it says magic surveillance at checkpoints. And so I assumed that test with covert questions was like a warning that there would be tests with covert questions, is what I meant. That's what I thought.
I interpreted that as like an imperative, like test them with covert questions.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it does not say be tested by questions. And if you were being tested by questions, why would they be covert questions? They would just be questions.
Yeah, it seems to me like basically whoever sent us this is saying that they have people in these companies that are possibly allies of ours, and we need to use these questions to find out who. But
I interpreted it more simply. I interpreted it as it's just a pass number. Like you have to know the number in order to get past the checkpoints or whatever. And in order to know the number, you have to know which company you're speaking to, which is why you need to test them with covert questions.
That sounds extremely reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
That said, we probably need to do our homework before we approach the camp, because if we approach and then we're like, hey, yo, which, do you like fishing there, Bob? Or whatever.
Right.
And then we have to work out the numbers on the fly. That would look weird. We should probably know, have the whole matrix.
Maybe there's a number assigned to the guard post.
Okay.
Like the door there literally says the number 10.
It's like
KJ did have a good point in that you don't need to solve everything.
Just whichever post we're going to approach.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just pick south, I guess. Actually, I mean, we'll be the
No.
closest to the ship if we do east.
Okay, so if we do
That's why we
east,
should
so let's
go
run this
west.
through real quick. So if we do east, then X, if it is Dragon Group at the East Guard Post, then X is 13, and then X divided by 2 is 6.5.
Yeah.
Right? If it's Company
Yeah.
2,
Yeah.
which is Weapon Group, and again, we don't know until we ask them which company it is, then we have Y equals 10, so 9 plus 20 is 29 divided by 2, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 14.5. Okay, so I mean, I think we have the sense of like what we're aiming at here.
Yes.
I think
But
we
I
can
don't
do
want
the
to go
math
through the
quickly, so-
East Guard. Why do you guys want to go through the East Guard post when it literally has like a skull written on the next one and says the Dauntless?
I assumed
just
the
thought it was
Dauntless
planned
was
integration.
the airship.
Correct.
I assumed that, but
I think that the skull and crossbones generally means do not go here.
Oh.
Generally.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Or
I
it
just
could
thought
I
it
just
was
mean
want to go
that's the
through the
ship.
West Guard post.
all right. West Guard Post it is. So I think we're prepared. I think we're ready to go. So unless we
And
have
hear me out. Like, if we go through south, it means we'll be flanked from the left and right. If things go south.
yeah.
And the other side
No, I'm
has
down.
like
I'm
that
convinced.
skull
Let's do
cross.
the west. Let's approach in the west. That's fine. So then I think we're ready. Does that give us what we need to do to prepare spells before we sleep? It's a bit
all right,
flimsy. We
so
don't have
we're
a
gonna
lot
be
to-
asked covert questions.
Mhm.
No.
No, we're going to ask them questions.
We're
try
gonna
and-
ask them covert questions to try
So,
and
you know,
suss out which
a subtle
company
spell
is at
detect
the
thoughts might be great.
yeah
sort
to
of-
try and suss out what company is there, so that we'll know what the secret number is. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the magic surveillance though is the question, because like now rereading it, does it mean that they're detecting for magic, or does it just mean there's like arcane eyes?
Mhm. Before we go
I
to
think they're gonna
could
detect
we
magic.
scry the location now that we've seen it? Like, would that be helpful?
I think clairvoyance
We
works
don't
on
have
things we can see.
Oh.
But we don't have any scrying capabilities right now, unless we go
we
into
can
the
go back
tower.
to the tower and
Give me a
get
second to
ourselves
look
some
at
mushroom
my thing.
tea.
Real sec, quick. So we're 10 miles out, yes?
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
clairvoyance is a mile thing, isn't it?
Even if I double it, it's only 2. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably get within 2 miles. Like the patrols aren't going to extend that far.
6, 8, 40.
At that point, we might be noticeable though for just vision range.
Well, for sure. But what's our plan as far as approaching? I thought we were just going to approach in the open. I don't think we're. Are we trying to be stealthy as far as our approach? And if so, what's our plan for that?
Yeah.
Maybe we could
So
just
you're
use the
going to
disguise bit.
stealthily sneak up to a guard post and then start talking to them. Is that your
Yeah,
plan?
Well, right now we're just trying to think of like being able to see.
Yeah.
Well, you know what might be advantageous is to disguise one of us and keep the rest in the lantern instead of approaching as a conspicuous group.
Mm-hmm.
If they have detect magic up, then they will know that you are an illusion right away.
Yeah, I mean, we don't. It doesn't need to be disguised self. It can just be a disguise kit,
Disguise kit.
or
Yeah, if you know how to just disguise, then that may be more effective, assuming we have like clothing that would make sense.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it has to be fit on the outside, right? Because it's either me or Fried that can talk to Pyros. So it has to be fit on the outside. Because I have like one green thing here and one green thing here. So I'm not obviously
True.
not going to work out.
I mean, Frid has blue scales.
I feel like there
Paint
are
them.
Dragonborn in the
Oh,
Empire.
yeah.
Like we know that for a fact. Like,
Mhm.
case in point, the minister in Regorni was an Empire
Mhm.
person, and he was a Dragonborn, so that's not the issue.
So as far as sleeping tonight, though, do we want to try to do like any kind of scrying or clairvoyance or anything like that before we sleep?
I think
And
we
then that begs the
do.
question: are we trying to approach them or not?
Sure. If we want to scry, let's just go back to the tower and do the scry.
Or are we going to reveal that we're scrying and approaching if we do? Like, if they have detection against scrying, then the ward is going to pop up. If they have true sight and they see that, I think they're going to be quite alert.
Hmm.
I mean, they're guards; they should be alert anyway.
Yes, but if you specifically know that there is something happening,
It's quite an interesting thing to think about now. If you're in a situation where you are told that the only way that anyone can get to you is with the elder's permission, why would you bother setting up a guard post like this?
in case we got past them.
Why would they be worried about us? They didn't seem worried about us before.
Oh my
Maybe
god! I should have been so
openly.
That's a
cheeky.
good point.
I should have been so cheeky and not take parcel. I should have taken non-detection.
No, that's a good point though. Like why do they have? Is this a? Now that'd be something I'd like to see from scouting, magical or otherwise. Are they trying to guard against something getting out or someone coming in? Because it is kind of weird. Like, who do they anticipate coming to stop them from doing this?
Iniok.
Yeah.
Non-detection
think-
is an idea, but we can do that in the morning.
I don't have that spell. I'm just saying I should have been cheeky and taken that instead of pass wall.
It's a 3rd level spell and it's an action to cast.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit!
It's only one person. So are you gonna do it, one person?
Yeah, and then the rest of us can be in the lantern.
I think that's a good plan. We got this.
We figured out the riddle just for to not use it.
Which, if we want to do that,
Oh, we might have to use the riddle still.
well, but here's the thing: if we want to do that, it might actually be a good idea for Celery to be the person on the
I was
outside,
thinking the same thing.
because
Mhm.
You
if
could
you
just
can't be
teleport in, it doesn't even matter.
teleport or just invisibility, any of that, because if we're blocking the
As long as you feel confident in dealing with the magic surveillance at checkpoints! Exclamation point. Note.
What if the entire wall is made out of iridium? Then we are fucked.
But it's not enclosed.
Right?
Why? I mean, again, I'm like, why do they need this kind of like heavy duty defense here?
Because they are trying to end the world, they just don't know it.
Hmm.
Well, are you
Makes
going to do anything now before you go to sleep?
I'm going to do ascending to Iniok, saying we are at the tower. The Empire is here and has set up guards against us. We will move tomorrow. Status ?
There's no reply.
I send the same thing to Zarud.
There's no reply.
So useless.
What about like Grand Spy Master? Spy Master.
I
Just keep trying.
Yeah, let's send a message to the Spy Master. What is your status?
There's no reply.
they're all dead.
Or there's something preventing.
Yeah. I'm going to send a message to Ina. How many fighters would we have available at the tower at worst case scenario?
Ina says fighters. You didn't tell us to prepare any fighters.
So Ina and Endless.
None.
Maybe Epnos.
Also, she says this is very concerning. Also, what's going on? And also, if you need any help, we are here. But, like, these
I'm gonna
are
send her a
burgers.
follow-up one.
I love all our sidekicks so much. How they have so much more sense than us. It's just like
Don't worry, we're gonna attack. No, don't worry, we're gonna save the world. Assaulting a tower. No help needed? Question mark.
Question mark.
She says, okay, question mark.
Who else
message
we
to
talked
Anlos.
to?
I didn't want to admit this to Ina, but we are well and truly fucked. Please come.
Sure, right.
I don't think there's anything useful you can do right now.
Now, it's not really useful, but I'm going to send a message to the Rat King saying, the world may end tomorrow. Are you still alive out of curiosity?
There is no reply.
He's definitely dead. He's 100% dead. Okay.
Are you gonna try to send one to Zixioth next? See if it hasn't been destroyed yet.
That's a good idea. Actually, can I send one to your genie? Like, am I familiar enough? No. Okay. Anyone else we could possibly contact?
No.
The ambassador. You can try the ambassador.
Why?
If there is iridium,
Yeah,
it wouldn't
why?
go on. We would know there is no iridium. The whole purpose
Yeah.
is to see
Okay.
whether
I
there's
sent
no
it.
iridium.
The
I'm gonna send
ambassador went to
another
Kantok. The ambassador went to Kantok, so that's
Yeah,
not.
she wasn't on her way here.
Sending another
Yeah.
one.
No, she's
Yo,
not.
Mort, you up? What you doing?
No reply.
Just doing phone calls.
This is great.
I feel like these people, some of them receive your message, just don't want to reply.
I love our nightly ritual of
You
using
Burning all
descending.
spell slots on nonsense. Yeah.
you suddenly feel extremely tired and decide that you need to go to sleep.
Well, there's not too much I can do about that, though, is there?
You think if you don't go to sleep right now, you will disintegrate.
So is the plan on the next day to answer the questions or just go right in teleporting?
I thought the plan. I don't know. I mean, I thought the plan was to covertly ask questions at the Western group.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a need
so-
to like.
so that. I mean, what if though?
It's one of those things where like we might be able to get in through the questions and the information we've gathered, but we definitely have a backup plan now that we're thinking about it with like the non-detection and stuff like that. Whereas the non-detection only lasts 8 hours and we're about 10 miles away, so I don't necessarily want to cast it like as soon as we wake up anyways.
Yeah.
Sure.
Your options are basically you have a known path that somebody has supplied to you, and then you have guesswork.
Backup plan.
Going into a situation kind of blind, appearing somewhere.
There
How does
is also the issue of how we still don't necessarily know how to get into the tower, because from all we've been told is that there's no obvious entrances.
Well, there's a key that Waltermich, we think, has.
A key with
Might-
no door.
From what we've been told.
we don't know what form the key takes?
Yeah, it could just
Might be a goblet.
It could also be the same way how our tower worked, in which we had to. There wasn't like anything per se. We had to say the words. The key could act in a similar way.
Oh, that's interesting.
I do think that we actually still need to put on disguise so that we blend in. At least, like maybe knock out some guards and like, hey, can we have this armor instead? Otherwise, we are so obviously not part of the empire, you know.
Well, that's the point
I
of
do sort of
most
have
of us
armor.
being lamp.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we want to try to just walk up and tell them, yeah, we got permission from the elders, but
I think we'll learn a lot just from approaching them and seeing how they're disposed. Because again, I am sort of still very much questioning why they are defending from the outside. That is strange. What do they expect to happen?
Well, you have been having all this conversation while you were sleeping, and now it is morning and you have woken up. And you need to... And you feel compelled to do things instead of just thinking about them.
All right, let's.
There was a minor flavor thing I wanted to do before we technically went to sleep. Pray to Bahamut for good luck.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not
Noted.
expecting anything from it, but you know, Frid believes he's a holy knight at this point, doing the work
Yeah.
of Bahamut. He's gonna.
Yeah.
A fellow paladin.
Fred
All right.
believes many things.
Frid definitely does.
I think we're going to approach the west guard post then. Are we just going to approach openly? Is that our plan?
Sure.
What?
Let's just do that
What?
first.
When? Why?
We have the answer to the question, so we could just go in openly, right?
We know
there shouldn't
someone
be
in
any
there is a
reason that-
snake. There is a rat amongst their midst. We are trying to speak to that rat.
Yeah, I know, but like we're gonna approach as our very conspicuous group.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the plan.
Are we conspicuous?
So that they know that we're the people that they're meant to rat into the place.
Well, yeah, but like if they're, but the non-rats are gonna see us too.
Sure.
They would see us regardless.
Well, not if we use disguise kit on Celery and the rest of us go into the lamp and he's just a
Then
guy.
it's just
like,
one random Empire soldier somehow behind the group by days.
Yeah. Better than the group that they may have been told to specifically watch out for.
Let's put a vote to it. Who wants to
Well,
walk up
this-
openly and who wants to walk up openly for the red thing? Okay, you're outvoted, Mervin. Apparently you're
I don't
voting
know.
with this.
I'm not even sure if it'll really make a difference.
Okay, fine.
Exactly. You've been outvoted.
I think we're just going to roll with it. We're just going
As
to
your-
act confident, essentially.
Fine.
As you're moving closer towards the place, you determine that the encampment seems to be built to keep people out rather than something in, and you determine that there's maybe a couple of hundred soldiers overall. It looks like around there. They seem to be mainly in these 3 camps on the inner circle And what else were you wondering about? Oh yeah, the guards don't seem to be like super expecting anyone to come in.
Mhm.
Because as you said, nobody should be coming in. Nobody like that shouldn't be there shouldn't be coming in. But yeah, you make your approach towards the western gate. And as the guards see you, they are just sort of standing there. They're not raising any alarms or anything. Eventually you make your way to the guard post. And there stands some people kind of just standing there looking at you. And one of them says, who are you?
I think we're bluffing at this point, right? Which is probably Frid taking the lead. Are we just going to pretend to be like part of Imperial intelligence or something along those lines?
I think that's a good
What do we
idea.
think?
Frid, roll deception.
So that's what I'm wondering. I think we're taking a deception tack here. Just pretending to be people we're not. But also asking, it's time for our covert questions.
Again, well, as a player, like I said, I'm not. The puzzle meant nothing to me, completely over my head. So when it comes to that, I am not your man. I can roll
I
deception,
think we should just say
and I can roll it decently well. So that would be a 25.
No, but I mean, this deception is just for answering the question, who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we should say we're merchants. Merchants.
Yeah, just say we're
And then give them a wink.
Yeah, right.
We're merchants.
You already determined before the roll that you were gonna be saying that you're Imperial intelligence.
Yeah.
You can't change
sure.
it after the roll.
Yeah, that's fine. But then again, as part of that, try to now it's time for covert questions to try to suss out which group of the four is at the West Guard post right now. So
Enjoy that.
that's your objective. What do you want to say?
Like AJ, all you need to find out is are these dragons, weapons, animals, or fish? That's the part that this is. But the guard says too, as you say, like, we are Imperial intelligence. The guard says, oh, I see. Well, that explains things. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna nudge to Fred and say, ask them if they have weapons ready for any attack here.
Okay, I will say that. Do we have weapons ready for any potential attacks?
The guard says, yeah. I mean, look, everybody's got some weapons, sure. We're ready.
Like, how many arrows do each person carry?
I don't think that's. I think that's sort of the answer of it. Like, yeah, these guys have no idea what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, good. Make sure you stay alert.
The guard
I
says,
have a question.
yeah.
I have a question for you. What would you rather have a tattoo of? A dragon, a knife, tiger, or a fish?
The guard says, I'm not really into tattoos, sorry.
Okay, cool. He knows nothing. Let's move on.
I don't think he necessarily knows nothing.
I mean, that was. I cannot make it any more thinly veiled.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the problem.
Mm-hmm. Slightly
Oh, I
thicker
need
veil.
to veil it heavier.
Yeah. Or no, less.
I
Less?
mean,
More obvious.
More
No.
obvious? How do I make it more?
Yes.
no, I think the problem is that you just try to ask all 4 options in one, and that's
Yeah.
obviously not going to be the easy way out.
Have you heard of the attack on Kentok? Did you know what it was?
Oh, right.
The god says, do you mean the dragon? I was there.
Oh, it's covert. This is like shit. This is general info.
Yeah.
Getting
That's
notes.
pretty good. Was the whole guard detachment was there in Kantok?
Yeah,
you?
we were all there.
How many units will you say were there?
I mean, we had the Imperial attachment there. Don't you know?
Of course we know. There's a different attachment there and here. I'm just testing if you know it.
Okay.
Trying to think of appropriately subtle questions here.
We didn't really see anything on the walk over here. Do you know of a good place to go hunting?
I mean, I don't know, around here, middle of the desert. Much better back home. Hope we get to go soon.
Are we all asking the same guard or is this like different guards?
It's one
Just
person who's
chit-chatting,
talking to you.
know? Yeah.
Okay.
Do you and the other soldiers here have a favorite pastime?
Well, I'm a bit of a musician myself.
Musician. What do you like to sing about?
No, not sing. I play a drum.
Great. Yeah.
When I'm on break, I
We should
can
talk to
show
a
you.
different guard. Maybe we should talk to a different guard.
Yeah, I
This is
think
the
we
only
should
god who
enter-
is like who's come to you and speaking to you.
Yeah.
You don't
No,
think
I
you have
think-
an option here?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you just answer my very obvious question?
Security reasons.
Yeah. Okay.
By process of elimination, I'm inclined to think that this is company 4.
Oh. Are there this isn't something I as a player would know, but are there gods of these things that I could sort of use as shorthand for each?
Does
I mean,
that get
there's
us closer?
dragon gods, there's gods of
Yeah.
animals and wildlife.
We're not just trying to talk to him about fish.
No, I know that. We're trying to get him to answer which company is at the place right now.
Right, but that's what I mean. I think if we just chat him up about, hey, I really like Muhammad. He's pretty cool. I don't.
Yeah, but
he's
if
not going
I
to tell us like what group he's part of.
Instead of thinking about what you might ask, why don't you just keep on asking, keep on questioning, throw in questions. Eventually, you might figure out
All right.
something. Just keep on going.
Did the food shipment already come? The fish? That's kind of obvious, but
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's good,
The god,
that's good, that's very
the
good.
god says, I mean, we have all the supplies over at the Dauntless.
Good. What about spare weapons? I could use some. I could use some backups. You can see my greatsword is excellent, but I was thinking of taking on a couple of short swords just in case. Where would I find the weapons people?
Over at the Dauntless as well, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Do they have reagents for spells, that sort of thing, all stockpiled there? You know, animal
Sure,
parts,
yeah.
fish parts. Yeah, they have all of it.
Yeah. Everything's over there
Dauntless?
at the Dauntless, yeah.
I see.
Have you heard of the Festival of Dragons? Do you know how many dragons are there at once?
No, I haven't heard of that. Where's that?
Where's that? Oh, it's on another continent. Have you heard of blah 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 continent? There was one that we
No.
came across, but I don't remember what it was.
Did you?
It's more than likely need to come with a number as the answer.
Well, we're trying to suss out which company is here right now, so we'll have the number.
I thought you were asking him that.
No,
We are
no,
asking
no.
a question and they're providing the answer. The answer need to come with a number. Otherwise, how do they match our corporate question
No,
with
we
number?
can figure out the number. We just need to know which group is here at this guard post.
Yeah, we'll have the number if we know which group is at the west gate.
Do we know
Is
anything
that not
about
how they
Imperial
confirm?
military? Sorry, I missed that question. What'd you ask?
Is that not how they're going to confirm which company they are in?
The number?
You need to figure out which company it is so that you can give the right number.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a couple layout questions. The guard post here is really just like one dude kind of on the outer edge, and we're thinking
No,
like
there's
the
several
bulk of the
people.
soldiers. There's several people. Okay. But the bulk of the soldiers are in the if I'm looking at the little rolled up map we got, they're in like the 3rd and 5th cohort, 2nd and 4th cohort, and the Dauntless, they're kind of on the inner ring is where most of the soldiers are.
Yep.
Okay. So that's when we're going to probably have to face our checkpoint where we're going to need the number. So we need to figure that out now. Okay, so the next question I have is about just kind of general knowledge of Imperial military hierarchy. Would it be like Dragon Group, Weapon Group, these sorts of designations? Is this something that would be like, would it be suspicious to just openly talk about it, or do we know that? Like in the same sense that if you walked up and said like, oh, hey, I was stationed at Fort Bragg last year, nobody would care. That's not like a weird thing to say.
You have no idea, you've never heard of these names before.
Okay.
If we would have to flag, like, what would you put on it?
God says, I'm not really a creative type like that. I don't really know. I'll leave those decisions to others.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys play any sort of games around here to pass the time or anything?
Well, off duty, of course, yeah.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, obviously off duty. Like what?
Dice, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Back when I was in Dragon Group, they used to love to do impromptu theater performances. Do they still do that around here?
The god looks at you as you say that and says, I don't know what you're talking about there, friend. Were you...
Our improv troupe was the best by far, if I do say so myself.
Were you looking to enter the camp here?
Oh, all in good time. It's been a long journey across the desert as, well, I guess you guys had the good fortune of arriving in the Dauntless.
Yeah.
Just trying to stretch our legs, and you know how it is. want to, get acquainted. We want to know, who our sentries are, right? Got to know who. I don't know. Where's a good place to get a drink?
Well, over there at the camp.
At the camp. All right.
What did you think of the ship? It's super cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's something else for sure. Never seen anything like it.
Right, but you got to ride on it too.
Yeah, I mean that Voltrantage sure does make some wonders.
Yeah.
They keep a pretty tight ship, though, as far as, seems pretty strict.
You know the ways of the Imperial Army.
How long have
giving
you
us
been
nothing.
stationed out here for?
The whole time. The whole time we've been here.
Well, I mean, how long has it been since you've been away from home? 'Cause I'm-
Been months. Haven't seen my kids in a long time.
You must miss your family. Do you have any pets?
No, the kids. The kids.
Animals in their own right, I'm sure. I can't wait to get home myself and have some nice food. Do you have any preferred dishes?
I'm more a meat person myself.
Good, yeah.
Like a good meat pie.
Make sure you get some hearty food. I bet you won't miss all the combat drills and training when you get home. That's...
I think I will.
You will. Do I see what weapons he's carrying?
A sword and a mace.
Sword and mace. I can see you're quite well armed. I guess it would be quite daunting to give it all back up when you finally are done.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything you've wanted to try but haven't been able to?
No, I don't think so.
You're satisfied with your tools?
Yeah, I'm happy where I am.
So do y'all like rotate through the outer gates, or have you been at the western gate here the whole time?
The guard looks at Mervyn and says, I think you should know that, friend.
Oh.
Are you going in?
I mean, sorry, I specifically am a new recruit.
Yeah, we've been showing Mervyn the ropes here, bringing him up to speed. He's doing great.
See.
So anyway, yeah, I think we are going to go ahead and go in. Anything
sure.
I ought to know about? Yeah, anything I ought to know about for the? I don't know. Is there any group customs or anybody I ought to watch for? Who should we report to?
Yeah, I thought you would know who to report to. But I guess
For the
over
third
at the
cohort,
Dauntless, there's certainly somebody who can take care of you. But as you know before, you can go on. I'm going to need that number.
Okay. We have a 1 in 4 chance. We could just guess.
We could just guess. That's true.
I don't think we're currently at fish or animal group, and I'm not too sure about weapon or dragon.
Really? I feel stronger about animal because he specifically mentioned meat pie.
That's when I said any pets,
I know
and that's not really on the nose. Or like,
yeah, I mean,
what are you missing at home? He said,
didn't
"Oh,
take
my
the bait.
yeah."
He didn't take the bait for pets. You're right.
So
yeah, he did respond positively to Celery's question about the dragon attack.
I'm kind of leaning towards dragon.
Dragon or animal.
In that case, the number would be 30.
Well, I think we should vote on it though.
Just do 30.
One last direct question. See, that's what I don't know how, like, is it like a tell? Is it weird to speak openly about group assignments? I don't know.
I mean, earlier when you spoke about it, and as Mervyn spoke about the guard placement and everything, those were moments when the guard was triggered to be like, hey, there's something suspicious about you, so you probably shouldn't be asking questions along those lines.
Not overtly. Okay, good to know. Okay.
Ooh. Have you ever thought about reincarnation? If you were to come back as anything, what would you want to be?
The god says,
Anything at all. Doesn't have to be an animate object. You could come back as that mace if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Or a dragon.
Haven't really thought about that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's myself. Anyways, how about that number?
Would people describe you as a party animal? I don't know. I'm out of questions.
Or a living weapon.
That's right.
You should be out of questions because the god is asking you
for a
that question.
All right, let's give him the number, and if we're wrong, I guess we just murder.
I mean, we've got. We could try sort of mumbling.
By any chance, did Frit talk about modify memory spell?
I was gonna say gift of gab.
What if we say two numbers? Hold on. What if we say two numbers like at the same time?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying is that for the West Gate, the number options are 30, 40, 60, and 15. So you could try mumbling it because 30, 40, and 60.
Right, but let's narrow it down a little bit. I feel like it's not fish. You definitely didn't bite on, no pun intended. He definitely didn't bite on any of our comments about fish, right?
No, he didn't, because we asked if the fish shipment came in, and he just said it's at the Dauntless.
Yes.
All food is at the Dauntless.
Do we think it's either dragon or animal? If we're going to coin flip it?
He didn't take the bait on pets either. I think that's a good point.
30. So 30 is the answer. Let's just go with it, and then let's see what happens.
Go with dragon. Yeah, 30. Go with 30.
Who says 30?
Oh, me, because I'm the stupid new recruit, and we might get a free pass if I screw up.
Yeah.
30.
The god says, yeah. Anyways, like I said, maybe somebody at the Dauntless can figure you out. By the way, the guard looks at Celery, and the guard says, like, by the way, and looks at Celery, and there's like an awkwardly long pause. And then he says, "Are you with the other Quandrix people?"
Oh.
They actually hear.
The what? Sorry, that went over my head.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Is that then where you're supposed to go? I mean, they are at the Dauntless as well, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're over there.
So for David, that's basically
Yeah.
the place that Celery is from. We went there and there was no one there except for like, was it one person or was it just like a note?
One.
There was a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, "Oh yeah, they just walked into the desert."
His entire people, or like
Yes.
Yeah. Tribe.
they just walked into the desert.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So what's
I
the
mean,
significance of that?
I mean, the person did say that they went into the desert to do research, not just walk.
No. They just felt it is time. The desert.
To leave.
Gotta get their steps moving. Okay, so what do we think that means? Sorry, because you guys all reacted pretty strongly to that.
Just that Celery's family is here.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Why are they here?
Research.
Researching the tower, I
Doing
guess.
math problems.
How do they
Doing math
access the
problems.
tower?
So does that mean that they got permission?
Sure.
Oh my god. I should have learned sending all this time.
I mean, as far as you know, just the Empire has permission to come here.
As far
Yeah. But yeah, so the guard just says, okay, well, yeah, you can go ahead over there. And
Oh yeah, I hope it's not a silent alarm thing.
and then yeah, as you hear about the Quandrix people and everything, you also hear from the sky a loud dun dun dun, and everything goes black and white and stops, and you see in Skywrite to be continued.
Oh.
Cool.
So we'll leave it that cliffhanger, and next time I was gonna say next time you will be in the tower, but
Don't
who
bet your
knows?
money on it.
Who knows? Most likely you'll get to the tower next time, but who
Challenge
knows?
accepted.
It has become clear that we are not very good at social things.
I think it's become clear we're just not good at D&D.
No, I think the social
Nah.
aspect, we are just going in circles. Like, we need to keep track of who said what so that we don't go about the same idea. Because we
Yeah.
are going circles about the same idea, which doesn't work.
Yeah.
But
And
anyways,
this is D&D. It's nonsense. That's what being
Yeah.
good at D&D is. So,
yeah, it's nonsense.
it's not-
But yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, this was we've been going on for 2 years now with this campaign.
Oh, good God.
2 years, and soon it's over.
very impressive.
Not next time, but I think there's 2 sessions left. I think.
Exciting.
So realistically, more like 3 or 4.
No, most
I'm sure
likely
we can
2,
round it
because
up to
there's
10.
there's only so much you can stretch it anymore at this point. So yeah. But anyways, next time is going to be next Sunday, and yeah, see you then.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Okay.
Bye. Here we go. As said, next Sunday, some more D&D. We will be... next Sunday is probably going to be like the big day, and because I'm thinking there's going to be like one there's going to be like a big ending, and then also kind of a epilogue sort of session. But yeah, see you then. Bye, party members. Bye, Cerulean. Bye.